Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the newsroom, where all the cool stuff happens. All right, welcome to the stream, everybody. Got a lot of stuff happening today. We're going to kick it off. We know that we had inflation data, but I don't even think the market cares about what's going on with all this inflation data because of all that interesting stuff going on in meme stock land, with GameStop was up almost 100% or even above 100% in the pre-market session.
S24 Milan, Italy Q1 revenue coming in essentially flat year over year at 49.8 million versus 49 million year ago.
Oh yeah, that coffee's good.
S24
We had
Milan,
Jerome
Italy.
Powell out as well. I don't know if he's still talking or not, but there are a couple of notes here of what Jerome Powell said on today's hotter than expected inflation data. Are we that surprised? The big report also, once again, is going to come tomorrow, the CPI data. So we'll look at what the expected moves are for going into that as the market's kind of just chopping around right now. But we'll pull that up here in a moment. Now, a couple notes what Jerome Powell said. We'll read through these just so we have an idea of where his thoughts are after he was talking. So it says, U.S. economy has been performing well. Today's PPI reading was quite mixed rather than hot. I don't know. It came in hotter than expected, but the way he's saying it is mixed. So I don't know. Right when I see this, I'm like, man, are they looking for a reason to cut here? Or are they just trying to tell us things are better than they actually are? I don't know. Consumer spending and business investment are strong. Households are in good shape financially. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the validity to this and what measurement that they're using. Because when you also look at, like, when you talk about households, you also can look at like credit card data and how many credit cards are opening up and how many are going into delinquent. So it's almost like people are getting squeezed. I will say, when I looked at the Federal Reserve data for the housing and credit report that they do quarterly, collections, the amount of people in collections was down, but the amount of people that are in collections went way up. And when I see that type of data, it tells me that right out of the gate, I think the people that are struggling even more. The people that are doing all right aren't doing much better, but they're holding together. All right. I don't know. You tell me your thoughts on that, because you know, these people, they're talking from their high ivory towers, whatever that means. I remember hearing somebody say it. Many industries are still experiencing labor shortages. Reiterated that labor market moving back into better balance, now about as tight as it was before the pandemic. Okay, that's interesting. Confidence on inflation moving back down is not as high as it was before. That's interesting. Confidence on inflation moving back down is not as high as it once was. Well, just the prior meeting or so, he was saying that this could be just a bump in the road, right? Well, now the words that are being used here are significantly different. Does not know whether inflation will prove to be persistent. Okay. Repeats we'll get to 2% inflation, though it may take longer. Yeah. Okay. Repeats does not think the next move will be a hike, but more likely we will hold rates where they are. That's to be expected. Lending activity by non-banks is growing very fast, which raises financial stability concerns. Okay, so those are some of the notes from Jerome Powell. How is the market responding to all of this? Let's take a look at that. It's not doing anything. Congratulations. It's waiting for the CPI report. I'm glad we reported on all of that. Woohoo! Sheesh. Let's go. All right, let's hop in. We'll take a look at some of these charts. Let me look at the chat, see who's here. Take a look at Twitch chat first. What's up, Moonraker, dude? What's up, dude? What's up, Trader Joe? What's up, Nova Hammer? Twitch is legit, man. It's like, you know, it's like a small little tiny group of people over there. So I always see those. Sometimes in YouTube, YouTube I see them all too. Definitely can't see Twitter comments. I don't know how that works yet, so I got to figure that out. But there's always a lot of people watching on Twitter. So if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you follow, dude. Don't just be peeping peeping Tom on me. What's up next door? What's up, Ace? All right, Cypri Paolo. What's up, sweet? Thanks. Raphael, our Dr. Disrespect of Finance. You know what's so funny, Arminius, is I took a lot of the stuff that I like. I mean, I'm not. I got a lot of I don't know how to word this properly, but a lot of my inspiration came from watching Dr. Disrespect, like the funny scenes and doing the funny stuff. And there's still a lot of stuff that I want to do, but I don't know how to do it yet. But yeah, like I absolutely love his streams. They're just, man, he takes it to a whole nother level. It's crazy. It's incredible. Even if you don't like watching live gaming, right? It's still crazy to just tune into this guy and how he manages his live streams. It's pretty crazy. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Corn Trader? What's up, Daryl?
Reminder here,
What's
just
up, all you
after
guys?
the
What's up,
bottom of the
Coco?
hour in
Hey,
European
Coco,
close,
why
we'll
don't you
get the
just,
52-week and 6-week bill auctions from the U.S. Treasury.
Hold on, AMC again. I told you not to do that. I told you be careful. Oh my gosh.
Repsol reportedly talks to sell a majority stake of its renewables business, according to sources. Romeo Echo Papa in Spain.
Butt, dude. Covering her butt, man. You like the
This
idea
follows
of
a report
big
earlier this month that they were in
BIG,
talks
big lots?
with Santos on the sale of the majority stakes in their Alaska oil fields business.
But it did end up, you know, it moved up. I mean, it
Today's
makes
report saying
sense.
they have received
Right?
an
It's a
approach
huge
for a stake in the
retailer. It got
renewables
beat
business.
down. I mean, if you're looking for value,
An
I mean,
investor.
I haven't looked into like the fundamentals or anything like that. Right? I don't know anything about the company. I don't. Okay, that's why it was kind of a joke, right? I made that. I'm pretty sure I made that very clear. And just so everyone is also very clear, because a lot of people ask, like, when, like, okay, so GameStop's going, right? Okay, let's pull up some of these names. All right, so a lot of these names, right? GameStop. So a lot of people, like, hit other comments, like, show us that you traded all of it. It's like, bro, I'm not trading size on this stuff. I don't do that. And the people that follow me know that, because I just don't have the stomach and the need. Where's my charts, dude? What the dang heck? There we go. Okay. Yeah, so it's like I'll trade it intraday and I'll make a trade or whatever, but like, for example, like this little guy here, I trade like intraday trades, right? But I don't like sit here and like hope and pray. Like, and my positions, like on a high beta name like this would be like maybe 3% of my portfolio. Not like risking 3% of my portfolio. I mean, like, if you have a, just for simple math, $100,000 portfolio, I would put $3,000 into this name, right? Maybe, maybe that much, because it's even higher beta than that. All right, so yeah, whatever, dude. But YOLO, bro. You only live once. Okay, AMC. Look at these names, man. Holy moly, up 83% today. It was up to 1330 in the pre-market session. It's chopping around right now. Whatever happened to Big Lots? What happened to that thing? It's up almost. Jeez, dude. You guys are crazy. 30%. Wow. So we're seeing some good moves, man. So hopefully, at minimum, like, if you miss the move, who cares, dude? Who honestly cares? It's not like the markets are going away. There's going to be opportunities to make money. This right now, as it stands right now, Big Lots, GME, all these high short interest names, it's an opportunity to make good money or, you know, little money. But it's also a huge opportunity to lose a lot of money. All right. So it always comes back to risk. When in times of higher volatility, that's when all the eyeballs hit it. Okay. So our goal is to find names where no one's really talking about it at the time, or they know about it, but it's not the hot topic. That's where volatility is contracting. And then you try to catch the expansionary move. So that's why, one of the reasons why I talked about Big Lots is you pull up the chart, is getting pretty tight here. Some short interest names are popping off. And I made the video on YouTube, and that posted at like 5 or 6 o'clock. So you couldn't even enter into the name, right? I don't think, right? But I also posted it on Twitter, before, post market, where you could have potentially looked into it. But yeah, a lot of these moves right now are happening in the pre-market or after-market session. Okay. Where am I going here? Is AMC dead? I'm not going to be touched. As of now, if I trade GameStop, AMC, or any of these names right now, I'm not going to be putting on full-size positions in max volatility levels over here. And look, okay, this is a 1-minute chart. Let me just show you how crazy this is. People are like getting upset about the halts, but you got to understand halts happen every single day. This isn't just like, hey, oh my gosh, they're halting us. No, this happens every single day to an equity somewhere, right? Pretty much, I would imagine. When volatility upticks like this, it pauses it to reduce the volatility. And, you know, who knows the reasoning behind it? I don't know. Look into it. But this happens all the time. It happened to a lot of bank stocks I traded when they were blowing up and then recovering. It's to reduce the volatility, right? Because crazy things can happen. But all kinds of halts here. But look at how wild this is. Okay, so this is a minute chart. Okay, let me zoom in here so you can really get my point. Okay, these are 1-minute candles. Okay, from here, from the high of this 1-minute candle, we're just going to go from the open. Screw it. I'm going to go from the upper portion down to the lower portion. Okay, that was in 1 minute. It dropped 5%. That was $2.69 a share. Okay.
European bourses wrapping up trading for the
1
day.
minute.
FTSE up 0.2%. German
minus
down
5%.
CAC up 0.2.
So this is very volatile. You do not when things are very volatile, it's fun to trade these things. But understand, if you came in here and be like, hey, I'm going to short 500 shares right here, you literally within 1 minute, right, could have made $1,500. Or if you went long right there, right, or whatever. I'm just using that candle for an example. You could be down $1,500 for 500 shares, and it's easy to get that type of margin, right? So very, very volatile, and we're talking 1 minute. So in times of high volatility, you do not need a size up positions, which everyone ends up doing, right? Everyone goes crazy. But you can size down and have 21.72% allotted at the high, working as it usually does with a larger size position in lower bay names. I'm really risk averse, people. Like I'm not a huge fan of wild risk, and I think the majority of people understand that. And you might be thinking, well, you're never gonna make a lot of money. Let me show you my portfolio, dude. I'll show you my portfolio right now. I'm gonna not show you the amounts or anything like that, but I'll show you that you can still do really good and not be crazy. All right? Give me a second. Just so you know, today I'm at another all-time high, but it's not updated. Okay, it's not updated. Let me make sure I screenshot this correctly. I'm gonna just take a screenshot of all my accounts, and then I'll show you one of the top performing ones, because there's one that's has some names in there that I just let it go, so it's been taking in the volatility a lot more of But if I combine them all, this is all my accounts within one of my brokerages. All right, I have quite a bit of accounts, but these are this is my more of my main one. Then I have some more ones that I pull a lot of income from if I make money, like Interactive Brokers. I like that one. Okay, so here, check it out. Boom, there we go. Okay, this is 1 year. Oh wait, yeah, okay. Okay, so 1 year. 1 year. When was this? Okay, it goes back to May 25th, 2023. Over here. So a lot of 2023 that was on that crazy bull market, I was actually just kind of hanging still. And it wasn't until October or September or whatever it was that I started really going in at it. And look, I'm sitting here at high, and it's gonna be more up here now, probably after today, because it was a decent move in the portfolio. Okay, and that's not with risking crazy amounts. All right, let's get into the markets. Let's see where we're at. That's just focusing on risk, slowly building, moving and grooving. You might be wondering, okay, well, what's the percentage? Year to date, it's all right. How do I look at that? What the hell? The hex? It usually shows it. I know it shows it on my phone. Give me a second here while I pull this up. Now I'm interested. I'm looking more specifically for just the entirety of the portfolio for the last year. Actually, I'll see if I can screenshot it from my phone and then send it to my computer. Should be pretty quick. All right. I don't know, Mike. You should trade like us more. I just made back everything I lost over the 20 years of trading off of GME. Shit. You're good. I love it. Trust me. Okay, so, and also, okay, so understand this too. Good, really good traders, which I don't consider myself like that good. Like, I don't consider myself professional. Like, yeah, I haven't, and the reason why I don't is because I haven't been in a position where I'm managing multi-millions of dollars, being able to like do crazy things, right? I'm good for what I trade and for my personal self. So it's always going to be different for people, for other people, but real good traders understand when they can start leveling up and sizing in when they see the position that really can make them money, and they know how to size into those. I don't really do that too frequently. I'm pretty consistent with my position sizing. But if you really try to make, big money, when you see the opportunities, people that professionally manage risk and professionally trade for a living with real size money, they know how to really start pushing into certain positions, which is all about position sizing, right? It's not about where the price can go. It's about position size, because they also know when to get out very quickly. I'm trying to look for this dang thing. Wait, what the heck, man? It's not giving me my performance. Kind of annoying. I mean, okay, there's one of them. This one's crazy. Here, I'll show you this one. The other one's like 50. But here's one of them. And then I'll get into the markets here. I'm showing you this because it's like you can approach the markets very calmly. Like if you focus on getting 2% a month, which is not that crazy, right? Because people are talking about like 100% gainers. The market's getting a little wild right here, people. By the way, we're getting under daily VWAP, getting some volume, getting some pressure above us. So careful over here. Coming into, we have some supported bids at 52.45 on ES over here. There you go. What the hell's going on here? Here we go. Boom. There you go. 1 year cumulative pre-tax return. 78%. This is my that's my Roth. My SEP is not that good. It's like 50%. It's like 50%. But you look at what last year performance of S&P 500. You have the Dow Jones, MSCI, Bloomberg, blah, 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 blah. Bond aggregate. And this is by focusing on little gains and little winners, base hits. And then also, when I'm wrong on a stock, which I'm wrong frequently, like I just lost on Tesla. I lost on CSGP. I think it was called CSGP. Is it CSGP? Is this the one I lost on? Yeah, I lost on this one. I did an early speculative entry, which means I'm smaller position anyway. And then it got stopped out over here. Right, nice contraction pattern, but it broke down. So if it turns back up and starts, resetting up, I'll look to re-enter. I lost that one. I lost Tesla. Tesla's back up. It's actually looking pretty good again. Dang it, I kind of missed that. Whatever. I played this breakout right here, was up on the day, and then it came back around, stopped me out. Okay, the reason why I'm showing this is because if you go back history of all your trades and say like this is like, okay, here is all your, like we're doing a line right here. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever trades, like going down the list, right? All your trades, and then you have a winner, you have another winner, then you have a loser, you have another loser, right? You have this loser over here. It's a little bit bigger, right? And then you have this winner. It's pretty decent. It's like a small winner, And then, but this one was a huge one. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I'm doing really good right now. So all of a sudden I'm going to put more risk on. And then you take a big ass loser right here, pardon my French. And then you take another one or you add to it and you're like, oh crud. And then you're like, okay, now I'm back. Yes. Oh, little tiny loser. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because if you go back through the history and you're like, dude, what if I didn't take these gigantic losses over here and I literally just cut them to like the average of what my losses were over into this range. So I X'd out all this would be gone, right? These losses right here and these small losses were not big. All of a sudden, your portfolio goes from, hey, I was up, you know, I'm just using an example, 5% because of these big losses, goes up to plus, you know, 12% or whatever, right? Those small losses make a big deal. All right. And honestly, if you literally go back to your prior year of trading or just this year of trading, you said, dude, if I didn't take my 3 big losses, if I were to cut those in half, or maybe not half, maybe even more, maybe if I were to really not let them get out of hand, would that have made a huge difference to my portfolio? And if the answer is yes, you really need to not focus on where stocks can go as far as targets. You need to focus, really hone in on your discipline to manage your risk, okay? It's the same way if you have a discipline for trying to eat healthy or going to the gym, right? Whatever the case may be, sometimes those are very hard for us to do and we break good habits. So maybe it's not cold turkey. Maybe you just gotta take a smaller position so you're okay with taking the losses and get used to that and then size that. I'm ranting, but hopefully that's beneficial. Let me know. Let me know if it's beneficial. Just a couple words. Is my mic too loud, Dijan? Is my mic too loud, guys? Oh, okay. Cool. Hey, Eric, curious if you have an algo that pulls the daily expected moves for your list of tickers, or you do it manually each day.
4.9%.
I do it manually every day.
Year-over-year.
I do not have a way of pulling that data with an algo.
Slight beat of expectations on the revenue line.
Prop firms, I'm using, I still have some prop firms. I've been focusing a little bit more on my swing trading right now. There's been 2 times, so this has been kind of interesting to me. I'm not gonna blame the prop firm, but Tradeovate, I got locked out live when I was live 2 separate occasions, and I wasn't able to get back in, and that messed me up. They made me to get into the position, and they would not let me to get out of the position. But I'm still actively trading there, on occasion. I'm trialing a new one right now, and I'm not going to talk about it until I can go through the funding stage and kind of learn a little bit more about it. But it's not for futures. I've always been a better equity trader. I haven't been great at options. I've got some on futures and stuff, but it's a little too wild for me, to the point where it's like, I don't really like the rules that a lot of these prop firms have. I understand them, but I think I'd just do a lot better with my own personal money. And now I'm trialing one that is that you can trade equities on. So I'll talk more about that if I end up liking it. I had a conversation with the CEO too, not too long ago. So yeah. My mic is cracking. Like there's white noise interference. I don't know. Is my mic cracking? All right, we'll take a look here at the market watch tab. I don't understand why my mic would be cracking. I don't get it, dude. This freaking mic, bro. Maybe if I just pull it away from me. Now it probably sounds a lot more clean. I see it go to yellow, but I don't see it go to red.
Circuit breakers, it hits its lows of the trading session.
Okay.
Still up 67% now, Michael Trailing.
S&P 500 is rather unchanged on the day as we're coming into still some important data. Let's take a look at the market net flow. Market net flow is quite bullish on the day. We're kind of in and out of convergence. It goes gray to green to gray to green, right? So we're getting a little bit of chop there, but overall, it's bullish, right? At this current moment, bullish flow. If we take a look at the 0-date levels, 5240 looks like this was a level earlier this morning that was kind of the main level. Then we have 5220 and 5190. 5220 is right here, 5190 is down here. So we zoom in. Probably chances are that, everyone's a buyer under this, at these levels right here, right? Anything above, any dip above this, people are probably looking to buy, meaning that, we're above a gamma flip line, so dealers look to buy the dip, sell the rip, CTAs, corporate buybacks, whatever the case may be. So we came in here on the PPI report that was hotter than expected, came into 5200, 5190 range, kind of the zone, and we actually bounced from those levels. If we start breaking these levels, then I'd be looking at the gamma flip line, which did move to 51.70 from 51.80. Okay, level of support today would be 52.20, I guess, right? That also is a level that came already down and tagged that, and then 52.25 over here. So overall, little choppy, and if I look at net gamma, it's not a very clear.
SEL Celios announcing a 1-for-8 reverse stock split,
and we're kind of just pinned between. We're kind of just right here in the middle of these two bars, right? So 52.50 is right here. This is 52.50.
Euronext, ENX in Paris, France, reporting revenue of 402 million euro. That beat the 394 estimate.
Down through that, and we can break and we can come back. We can pin around it. Okay, but if we substantially break from this level, there's not much beneath us, and that's where things could get a little bit hairy there. So that's what I'd say. That'd be more the risk. Okay. As far as the day goes on ES, we do have quite a bit of supportive bids right here beneath us, so we'll see if those fill. This type of thing was above us on yesterday's trading session, and it was holding as a level of resistance, so we'll see if that can hold as support. But if it breaks through, watch out. And then I want to see here, too, if the orders, I believe that they're still there. Yeah, look at that. These guys are still here. 49.62. We still have over 2,000 contracts down here. 49.62 on ES. Crazy. The mic is still cracking? Dude, I really don't know what's going on right now. I don't know. I wonder if it's, maybe let me check my loopback audio. I don't know.
Trigano TRI in France reporting first half sales 1.91 billion euros.
AK, the voice that's talking behind me is Trade the News. These
year-over-year for the first half. Tango Romeo in France.
Sometimes it puts out important information before the markets move. Yeah, so 49.62, still 2,000 contracts. That's been there for like 20 days or so. Okay. Nah. 1,001 here. Where'd my price go? All right, we'll take a look at some individual stocks, see how the markets are doing. Still kind of holding up in this area right here, okay? I saw a name earlier today that looked pretty cool. I forget that freaking I forget the ticker though. Oh, there it is. TXRH. Texas Roadhouse. Take a look at Texas Roadhouse. The restaurant. Oh, it's getting pretty tight right here after, an earnings move. So earnings popped it up, closed at the low. It's not the greatest looking candle, but it's been consolidating within that, and it's kind of just consolidating in bullish contacts. Strong stocks, they typically get stronger, so a retest of 170, maybe actually follow through to the upside. Could be one to watch there. Texas Roadhouse. Hello. Texas Roadhouse. I've never been. I've never been. SPWR. Let's take a look at it. Intraday setup. Boom, boom. Chaka. Yeah, it's breaking out of the 1 minute range. It's kind of moving already on us. Right here. Nice little breakout. Getting above the 1 minute range. Is this like what's Sun Power? Is this a high shorted name? I would imagine so. It's up 90% on the day. All right. A lot of meme stocks taking off to the upside. Here we go. Yeah, that was clean, man. I wish I would have just read that like a second earlier. I probably would have taken something like this. I understand that these are also like careful, like they're fast, they're quick, and even these little tiny moves, you know, that was +6. That was 6% move in like a couple of minutes, right? So these things are crazy, people. These things are crazy. They move like wild unicorns, okay? So make sure that you're always managing risk effectively, properly, sizing correctly, because a 6% move in 2 minutes is indeed bonkers. It can make you great money, but it can also make you lose money quickly. So yeah, and I don't need to tell Trader Joe that. He's well aware. Look out for peanut shells. Wait, I don't get it. What am I missing? The Focusrite. No, I don't have I have a Wave XLR. I have a Cloud Lifter, and then I have the shirt. Let me unplug my mic, dude. I'll unplug my mic. I swear to God, if this messes up my stream, though, I'll just reset. Test, test, test. Test. Testes. Testing. Testes. Testing. Can you hear that? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testes, testes, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear my test? Nice pop there on Sun Power, man. Hertz, yeah, HTZ. Yo, I'm hearing all kinds of stuff going in there right now. What's going on? Daijan coming in with more gifted subs. Thanks, Daijan. Daijan got gifted. See, this is the thing about the Twitch community over here, man. They just hook everybody up. Daijan's been hooking people up since day one over here. Hooked up Leanna, hooked up High, Octane, Mario, Joy, Beldar Trades. Thanks for all those tier 1 subs, hooking them up, man. Community helping the community. 5 tier subs. Buy a new mic. This mic was $600, dude. This is a very expensive mic. It's just SM7B. I know it's not the mic. If anything, it's the way I set it up. This is like the mic. So I don't know. You tell me like the next time it cracks. But right now on my system right now, I'm looking at it and it's not even hitting into the yellow or red. So I don't understand why it would be cracking right now. It could be because I get louder and I move closer to it. So if I push it away from me, maybe that's a little bit better. I just like lean into it because I'm weird like that. Okay, Hertz donut. Do you want a Hertz donut? Yeah, as far as like an intraday trade, I mean, it's kind of all over the place. Not my style. 15-minute time frame. Obviously, we saw a nice big pop up, and now it's consolidating those moves. It's up 15% on the day. Let's look at the daily time frame coming into that 50-day moving average. So some follow through from yesterday's move. Yeah, I mean, we're probably getting a short squeeze there too. Intraday though, much more of a fan of what Trader Joe, pointed out over here from an intraday perspective, playing these kind of pops, how they consolidate very tightly. You see that, how it got higher lows, got very tight right here, and it was just a clean break. And then you could trade that very quickly from an intraday perspective. So that's the stuff that if I'm trading intraday, I would play this. And this is like a minute time frame. You can go out 5 minutes or whatever. On my day trades, I can be pretty quick. Scalps, Aux cord? I'm not using an aux cord. This is a XLR cable, I think it's called. I'm not using like a cheap equipment right here. So I guarantee you it's the way I set it up. It's not the equipment. It's 100% me, and I'm doing something wrong. I know I am. And it's probably software functionality because I'm on a Mac and I'm using this loopback process to even make all this work. It's like, look how complicated this crud is, dude. And I had to figure this out myself. Look at. Like, what is this, dude? I had to manually do all this stuff. just to make it work on my live stream. I have no idea if this is even set up correctly. It's crazy. Need an audio engineer over here. Not a clue what's going on. Shabba dabba 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 dabba. Twitch works fine. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it is more finicky. It's not as easy to use, and there's like higher quality like settings and stuff that have to be all like worked out. It's crazy. Sounds good for you guys. Okay, cool. PayPal broke out of the wedge. Let's pull up PayPal. Nice call out. Gravity Falls talking about PayPal. PayPal has been looking pretty good. It's holding above the 1 minute opening range for the day, and then the daily time frame. It's, you know, after its earnings, it's been kind of consolidating.
Comes from the Riksbank Bremen saying that external risk factors for inflation remain.
But volume's also drying up here. So is this like just shaking people out a little bit more? Is it putting in a higher low to potentially move out of this wedge, this tightness? And so far, I mean, it's looking good. All right. I have a position in PayPal. I took one. Let me see if I'm up or down on it. I think I'm down. No, I'm up. I am up on the position. I mean, it's nothing crazy.
Freeman goes on to say he's not very worried about the crown weakness driving inflation.
Like 6%, a little bit less. My entry was 64.42. 64.42. Where's that? Right here. Right here. Right there. When did I enter into that? Was that today? I can't remember exactly when I entered. Oh, you know what? I think I entered it on this day when it got above. I can't remember the day that I entered it, but I'm right here. I'm right there.
Freeman goes on to reiterate his view that it's like we'll see 2 rate cuts from the Riksbank in the second half.
My stop will be right here. There you go. That's my stop. There's my position in PayPal. If I get stopped out, it's going to be a loss of about 2.5%. Small, very, very controlled. And then if it comes back up, I'll re-enter. I'm just kind of playing the position right now, trying to get used to it. So. Shabba dabba ding dong. Okay. What else we got going on here? Maxin. Okay, let's take a look at some of these ones. Yeah, Maxin's getting pretty tight here. I really like the SunPower setup. It was just so much more cleaner. Like you get a feeling for this type of stuff intraday, and like SunPower would have been one that I would have done. This one, it's clean, but it just wasn't as clean there as SunPower. AI, this one moves. AI is also actually, this one's a little bit more like SunPower. So getting above that 2630 level right there. It's still within the opening range. I prefer it to be kind of more out. Because in here, in the opening range, it's a little bit more chop, but. Hey. Coco. Stop that. What? You gonna take her? Okay. Hey, what does she have on her? It's like a foxtail. She has like a foxtail on her. Come here. Sorry. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, hold up. Get out of here. Give me a second, people. Big ol' foxtail, bro. Why is the volume down? I think it's because I pushed my mic away from me a little bit. Yeah. DJ source and source make it easier to set up your sound, especially if you're using OBS. I'm using, what am I using? I'm using Streamlabs, which is, I think, OBS. But yeah, I think the, I don't know, it's probably clipping because, oh, I can also probably lower that right there, and that probably helps a little bit too. Probably turn my mic up and then just lower the audio settings there. But also my voice, it changed, like the decibels of my voice have been changing too. So AI, yeah, AI looks pretty decent here. It's getting pretty tight, so and I like that one. I prefer it to be outside of that opening range though. All right, let's take a quick look at the market here. Sheesh. All right. Market's coming into one of the gamma levels, 52.25. Sound is fine. Whatever I did worked. Okay. Oh, man, I'm getting so confused, people. I'm getting so confused, people. Okay. Let's take a look at market net flow. We're going to move on. It's probably clipping again because I see it turning yellow. My voice always changes. We're back to no convergence. So we've just been kind of in and out here, and the market's just chopping around because of it. We're up we're up 2 basis points on the day, 4 basis points. We're flat on the day. We're still outside of the upper expected move for the month. And it's only the 14th, halfway through. So the higher probability is that we come back in, right? But we have CPI data tomorrow. If the market likes what it sees, I mean, we still have a wide open weekly expected move. The weekly expected move for the SPY, 527.68, 514 to the downside. If we do get snapped to the downside,
for Oracle shares moving higher on a report that Musk's
anchored VWAP. So
XAI is near a $10 billion deal to rent Oracle's AI servers, according to the information. ORCL, Oracle shares
come down after a
jumping
move
2
like
points.
This, which would be normal, especially after the S&P 500 being up for 7 days or whatever it was. Understand that the 5-day moving average should start to flatten out and start to turn back around. And then if it does start to trend downwards, that's not the greatest sign, as well as being under a gamma flip line, okay? So anything above 5,200, in my opinion, this like 5,190, 5,200 is bullish to me. If we start getting below it, that's where I think then we can have some problems. Yeah, I can take a look at IWM. We're coming back into this area of liquidity right over here. The news sub that you're hearing in the background is called Trade the News. Trade the News. If something important pops up, I'll typically bring it back up. But Trade the News, man, this is an incredible service. It's quite expensive for what it is. I mean, not actually. It's not that expensive if you are really into the weaves of this. But see all these little red dots on the S&P 500? This is when the news drops, and they're very quick to get it to us. Very quick. So for example, like Oracle just got some news about Elon Musk AI said to be near a $10 billion deal to rent Oracle servers. So if I would have seen that a little bit earlier, we can pull up Oracle and then see really quickly what's happening. Oh shoot, what do you know? It's flying right now, right? So, and that was like within a few minutes of that. Bam. They probably said it before they wrote it out. So like listening to it, is always important, which I got a little bit of little bit of distracted there. But yeah, take a look. So I mean that see why it could be important to focus on all the audio, not paying attention to markets. Shabba dabba, ding dong. Shabba dabba. Okay, let's go. All right, we're gonna pull up some individual names now too. Hey, what's up, Project? Thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe so you get notifications when I go live. And I also post daily stock market briefs. Almost daily. Shibbity-bitty-bitty-ding. Okay, let me take a look here at Twitch. Okay, we'll pull up IWM. IWM's about up 1% on the day. consolidating. IWM looked pretty nice yesterday. It was pulling back into this 5-day moving average on the 15-minute time frame, kind of just, and it's inclining, so it looked pretty good. We did gap up today, and so far it's really not doing much from a daily perspective, in like a daily intraday perspective, but it is holding the daily VWAP. It basically hit the highs of the trading session within the first 3 minutes, and we're just putting in lower highs since that point. So I don't see it as quite actionable here. And these are the things when you're in like when you're in positive gamma territory, when the S&P 500's in above a rising 5-day moving average, volatility typically contracts, liquidity goes up, and you do get these like kind of gap, ramp, camp sort of days, or gap and camp days, where it's kind of like it leaves you to like get no entries into a move for the most part. Like look at like boom, well, these are kind of more volatile, but if you just look at this move here, there's been some volatility. All right, but they're very, very short-lived, and then they keep kind of moving higher. So it's like this slow kind of drag up higher. When we start to get into negative gamma territory, you start to really see more volatility enter in, and that was all kind of through this area right here. So yeah, if I look at IWM just from a technical perspective, first off, look where it came from. It hasn't really had a digestion. Price action is getting clearly pretty tight here. So to see a little snapback, to see some consolidation, to see even move up and then consolidate eventually makes sense to me. But as it stands in this current moment, it is just putting in, as it stands, a lower high. And then if you look back even further to the left, right, it's just kind of chopping around here. All right, so I prefer to see more consolidation, because I don't care about, do I enter here and I missed it up to 211. I don't care, because chances are it's going to consolidate at some point, and then I'll look to play.
That's why XRAY, S&P downgrading its rating
Overall,
to BBB minus, the lowest level of investment grade X-ray.
Not separated too far from that.
Romeo Alpha Yankee.
S&P 500 still getting still holding up. This area of liquidity right here is also still holding up as a supportive bid too. All right, let's take a look. I just want to see what Big has been up to, and then we'll take a look at some of these other meme names that are kind of all over the place. So GME, you said getting pretty tight. Yeah, GME is getting tight. This is, they halt. Price action settles down, getting very tight here. Probably start to see some volatility enter in the very near future. That makes sense. Good call out. AMC is getting a little bit of weakness up here too, but still it's up obviously 60% on the day. So profit taking.
Boeing saying Starliner launch has been postponed to no earlier than May 21st over a propulsion system issue.
Pulling in profit takers coming down makes sense. Yeah, I turned Trade the News volume up because I couldn't hear it myself. I could make the same volume, but yeah. All right, I want to take a look at some of the names from the tight list, see if anything's still tightening up here. A lot of names broke out of the tight list. Texas Roadhouse that we talked about, that's in the tight list. That thing's still contracting. Some of the airline names we talked about on prior episodes, like AAL, if you entered into this, it's always, I played this one, this very tight contractionary pattern right here, right? This one broke out, right? So we played Inside Trading Day, it broke out. So it's always worth considering, updating risk parameters there, which I did. And by updating risk parameters, that means you can, take partial profits, you can update your stop loss. You got to just do whatever's, whatever you see fit, or nothing at all, right? UAL was one from the tight list this week, and this one broke out. So these airlines started to move. I don't know the legitimacy or how high these things can go, obviously, but a lot of these names have made some pretty nice moves. CNM is one that is still on my radar. This one came far and fast, but still holding up in bullish context, and it's kind of consolidating just under this 60 region, basing out again. So I don't know, maybe it's open for, I would prefer it to consolidate even longer than this and then break out at 60, but we'll see. Ally Financial was one that we recently talked about. This one break over 40 today. Decent volume actually too as well. So you can see how price action had a low, higher low, got very tight. We broke through 40, saw a nice pop, 2.8% up on the day. So this could be the start of something better or bigger. So if your stop's down here, you can potentially move it up, right? Or just give it some room to breathe if you entered into that. But we are above a rising 20, above a rising 50, above a rising 200, and we're seeing a nice little breakout there. So overall pretty solid there. Ball has not made its move yet, but it's also consolidating its earnings move, right? So big bullish earnings gap. Then you see ball is kind of getting tight right here. Okay, so ball looks pretty decent here too as well. A breakout, maybe perhaps that plays us up to the upside. Continuation in bullish context, right? We broke out of this trend, boom. Now we're consolidating again. BTSG, that one doesn't look like it has much volume. I just want to see this one really quick. Always got to check the volume. I mean, it's okay. It's like decent enough for maybe small positions, but this one, kind of broke this little kind of cupping, and now it's getting pretty tight here. It's not my favorite looking chart, but it is getting tight. Western Digital here is also coiling up. So you can see the higher lows, and it's getting very tight here. These last trading days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 trading days of pretty tight price action. So this would be one that I'd be saying, and volume's drying up here too. And earnings was already passed. So this one would be one that I'd say, okay, now if we start to really kind of break out of this pattern, I would start to target back up here, and or continuation of its move. We've seen consolidations and pullbacks. And now we're kind of seeing a very similar situation. You can even potentially draw it like this, right? Like that. So a measured move would be the width of this. So maybe 82 to 85. That would be just a measured move. And then you have a clear idea of a stop loss too. Yeah, Oracle's moving. Oracle had some news around Musk. Okay. Yeah, Oracle's making a move. This is what I like. So take a look. See how it got very tight here? And then all of a sudden you break the highs. This stuff happens all the time. So you look for the tightness, and then we see the moves. And there's always, catalyst always comes after the fact, but you can find these setups prior. Now, I wouldn't chase into this move. It's already moved pretty significantly, right? So, but you can wait for potential consolidations. And we just put in a kind of a shooting star candle over here. So we'll see if this kind of starts the consolidation process of Oracle. It's just 1 minute candles, but, But yeah, nice bullish breakout. You might even be able to look at it like this, right? Kind of broke that trend. I think FDX is also kind of back in the cards too. No, it took a big hit today. Was there news today on FDX or something? But we broke out of this trend. I've tried playing this one right here. Boom, it got hit down. And then I tried looking at it here. Missed the breakout, and now it's coming back in again. Was there news on FDX? It's a pretty substantial move. I don't know. Yeah, it's a pretty substantial move on FDX, kind of just getting clobbered right now. Tilray, let's support Tilray. Okay, let's go. Tilray. Yeah, a lot of these cannabis names also, okay, this news came out. We were live during these news breaks. And then now they consolidated, and now we're moving up through these. So yeah, they look good. Just understand where you're kind of trading from, right? They move quick. Make sure you're sized up correctly. Look at MJ, see what MJ is doing. All right, that's an ETF. Also did the same thing, right? Consolidating, breaking up. MSOS, also probably very similar type situation, right? Big news breakout here, and now it's consolidating. So this one actually hasn't made a move yet. So this could be the early of a potential pop back up. So MSOS could be on deck for a potential move here, and you just have a stop under this prior swing low. Okay, Aurora Cannabis, ACB, right? Got tight here. We saw this big breakout. I traded it, and then also now it's breaking out of this little tightness over here too, up about 11% on the day. High beta names are making some moves. BHC. Let's take a look at BHC. What is BHC? Bosch Health. Not too familiar with this name. But it is on the daily time frame pretty hammered, to be quite honest. So I don't really know, if I say, okay, yeah, go long, I wouldn't short down here, but if you were thinking about going long, The stop would be, I guess, the swing low, and you're playing for a pop up. I don't know if it's like a high short interest name. On the 15-minute time frame, it is getting back above that rising of the 5-day moving average. It is declining, so perhaps it might be setting up for this to start flattening out and turning back up. And then it could be the early stage of a little pop back up. But just understand you're fighting an overall trend. So during times where you fight this trend, you have to be a little bit more aggressive. As far as like profit taking and managing risk when you're fighting a trend. Because you have counter trend moves and all this stuff. I think one that we posted in the trading pit was Ulta, right? Ulta looked like Lululemon. I didn't trade this one, but it was getting very, very tight and getting hammered. And then, you know, it broke out to the upside. And you could play for a little bit of a pop. Does it go higher? I don't know. Take a look at Lulu, right? A lot of these retailer names as the consumer is getting squeezed, right? Consumers are feeling the pain and the pressure, right? This one also fell to the downside, but we saw a nice pop. And these opportunities, arrive all the time. Walmart also coming back in today. Pretty big move, down 1.17% today. Nvidia, let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia is still coiling up here too as well. Nvidia looking, it's not looking bad. So it's just bullish consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days of consolidation over here. Above a rising 50, above a rising 20, above a rising 200. We have earnings around the corner. I mean, is it gearing up for another move? It might be. If it starts breaking down this little, this little trend over here, I'd say, okay, watch out, because some people might be looking at it like that, like, oh, it's getting tight or whatever, and it is getting very tight here. So you can get fake out, shake out.
Basic link in Ukraine saying that what Putin destroyed in Ukraine, Russia should and must pay to rebuild.
MRK is one that got faded a little bit here, but it's still kind of within this contractionary pattern. So broke out, boom, it moved up a little bit higher, and it's putting in a lower high here as it's getting pulled back. But it is still in an overall kind of a contractionary pattern. If you just look here, we have higher lows. We're kind of, getting hung up around the supply zone over here. So that could be one also still on the radar. Nvidia, I just did WBA. Yeah, let's take a look at WBA. Was that Walgreens, right? For Walgreens, I mean, so the first thing I always do is look first to see if things are tightening up, and things tightened up down here, right? So it already made a pretty substantial move. And then I look at the trend. Okay, the trend is clearly down. You have the 20 below the 50, below the 200. They're all pointing down. So these are type of things that, like, hey, if I was lucky enough to catch a move, I'm typically aggressive to take profits, move up stops. Okay. So if I go look at it now, it's like, okay, yeah, it's getting tight on the 15-minute time frame. Can it pop up? Yeah, but then I think, okay, well, where's my risk going to be? Okay, if I enter in right here, okay, which is probably not the greatest entry, maybe say, oh, I'm going to look for a gap fill. Okay, then maybe your stop can be at this swing low, right, on the 15-minute time frame, if you're trying to be more aggressive. But yeah, right now it's sitting roughly at the lows of day. And it's in bearish context. So yeah, sorry, I'm trying to level out my voice a little bit here. So I was getting so many complaints about it clipping, but now I'm getting complaints that it's too quiet, but I'm not getting complaints about clippiness. Hi, people. I can crank my volume up, man. I can pull my mic up forward, and you guys can hear me probably a lot better. But then it starts to turn into the yellow, which I believe is fine. All right, I'll just do that. You tell me. Testing. 1, 2, 3. And if it starts clipping again, just let me know. But that should be a little bit louder. Yeah, USO, Bitcoin, JPY, VIX, TLT, all important. That's much better. Okay, well, I'll hold it here. I just know that if I start getting, like, I'm trying to like level out like my voice a little bit, like when I talk, and it's like really holding me back because I want to get excited and have some fun right now, but I feel like I'm just like talking like very monotone, which is boring to me. I want to go crazy. I want to hop in a rocket ship and go woohoo. Mic's been fine since I've unplugged it. Okay, see, it's like everyone has a different like, yeah, that's good, it's bad, it's pretty good, it's pretty bad. Okay, dude, I just want to holding in my energy right now so I don't just like blow up. Not in a bad way. Just I want to have some fun, but I'm just like controlling my voice levels. It's like an exercise for me. Maxin. Okay, so he's saying MAXN. Pulling down a little bit. Yeah, get a little bit of sell side there. Pulling back up. U-turning through to the VWAP. This was one, yeah, well, I think we looked at this one a little bit earlier, right? And we're like, it looks pretty good. It's tightening up, and it did expand. It expanded to the downside. So calling out the tightness was correct. It did expand, right? SPWR. Oh yeah, let's see what's going on there. Yeah, this one. So this is why you got to be a little bit more aggressive on these moves, right? So it got really nice here, and then we saw that pop, boom, and then pull back in, right? So when you trade aggressively on these short names, just understand that when they sell, it's typically more aggressive than when it moves up. Like a lot of the times, right? Stairs up, elevator down. You'll see big squeezes to the upside, but you'll see fast moves to the downside too. Okay, so it's always important to update risk, manage risk, and so forth. But yeah, it's you turning back inside if it's opening range here. We'll see if that turns into anything. Yeah, got to be a quick finger on the trigger. That is absolutely true. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I traded GME yesterday. Literally, I posted my trade up on I posted my trade, like the walkthrough on Twitter. Where was it, people? I don't remember. I think it was right. Actually, I don't remember where it was. 3150. Was it here? Yeah, I think it was right here. I think I posted it right here, and then it moved like 4%, and then right before it tanked. Luckily, I was basically saying like update your risk, right? Don't let this go to a losing trade. Boom, fast move, and right. If you zoom out like on the 15-minute time frame, daily, like these moves don't look like anything. But if you are in it and you're doing some decent size, I mean that was like a 4% move in a few minutes. All right, S&P 500 seen some volume to the downside, trying to fill this liquidity beneath us. Let's take a look at market net flow, seeing if it's given us any insights. You can see that we lost convergence over here, and the market's been kind of just doodling around. It's been choppy all day, and this is going to make sense as we come into really a binary event, right? The CPI data, 521. It's below 521. It's right at about 520. So yeah, it's a little area to be a little bit cautious over here. If we keep selling off, look at 5220 as a potential level. That's where we kind of held the support prior, and that's a 0-date level that I believe is still important. So we'll go back to 0 dates and take a look here. Yeah, 5220 is this level right here. Okay, below that, 5190. 5190 is quite a reach. That's pretty far down. It's pretty far down. I don't, like once again, like yesterday, I didn't think that we were going to come down here. Today, that's a little bit of a stretch in my opinion. But we've seen crazy stuff happen. To get down here, I would say that the market net flow has to be more bearish, and it's just not really like crazy bearish right now. It's just, it's a bullish divergence, just no convergence. If the red line was in the place of the green line, I'd say, yeah, I think that that's on deck. I think that that's a possibility, okay? Or we might set up something for that, but not necessarily in this moment. I'd rather just not lose money versus try to make money from the short side in this current moment. Tell me why I thought I was listening to a youngster until I saw you still look pretty young. I mean, I guess I don't know, I'm 36, so maybe that's young to some, maybe that's old to others. It's kind of right there in that sweet spot. Yeah, 36, been doing this for creeping up on 15 years probably. Maybe even more technically, I guess. But more seriously doing it, obviously less than that. I mean, 2009, 2009 was when I really started getting into like trading and investing and stuff. Pretty much right after the financial crisis. All right, we have some liquidity above us, over 400 contracts, and we're still pressing down, trying to fill this liquidity beneath us. So careful here because we don't know if this is going to hold or not. And they are kind of walking price down. As you can see, the liquidity keeps on being added overhead, which leads me to believe that, you know, this could be a time where we actually fill the liquidity beneath us. The Qs and the VIX moving on the same on the 1 minute. They might be. Yeah, so understand the volatility. I mean, there's typically a negative correlation between, you know, I mean, understand. So the VIX is for the S&P 500. It's the S&P 500 volatility index. The Qs is the Qs, you know, it's different, right? If you look at you can look at NASDAQ volatility, right? VXN. So instead of VIX, it's VXN. And then if you want to look at Russell volatility, it's RVX. You can even go into gold volatility like GVZ. Then you can look at oil volatility. That's, I don't remember. OVX maybe, I think it is. Then they have Apple volatility, Goldman Sachs volatility, Amazon volatility. These are all products from CBOE, I believe it's CBOE, that you can actually look at. But yeah, sometimes they move together. That's totally fine because you got to understand it's implied volatility. And sometimes when we go into events, like for example, earnings events, implied volatility goes up, right? It increases. And we're going into a CPI event, so to see implied volatility kind of swell up, I mean, to me, that's pretty normal. And you'll see that in the expected moves because the expected moves typically get wider too. And the expected move is what the market's pricing in as far as potential risk going into whatever that event is. So even yesterday, right, the VIX was up, markets were flat or up, right? Today, what is today doing? I mean, I don't know. Is the VIX up and the markets are kind of flat up? Probably. Around there. Scooby-Doo. Yep. All right. GameStop still contracting here. It doesn't look all too hot, to be quite honest. So you need to be careful up in this area for GameStop because it is putting in lower highs, kind of putting in higher lows, getting very coiled up here. So if this starts taking a little bit of a breather, be open to that possibility. Yeah, for sure. I can. I want those monitors. I can show you the market net flow again. I'll walk you through it. Give me a moment here. Yeah. So just from the perspective of technical perspective, I mean, this doesn't look too hot right here, but you know, who knows what the market can do with names like this, like GameStop. But from a technical perspective, I mean, it doesn't look amazing at GameStop right now. You see what I'm saying? Like it's under the daily VWAP, right? This could be considered, you know, a bearish pennant, but that doesn't mean that, you know, traders don't want to come in and break this high and start trying to go for it again. You know, but it just doesn't look like the greatest setup from a context of just the intraday trend. The daily trend, right, is clearly up because we're up darn near 70%. AMC, you can see the lower highs here and how this contracted, and this actually followed through to the downside. So AMC is the one guy that got tagged. GameStop didn't yet. So is AMC telling us what may happen to GameStop? No freaking clue. What's up with Big? Because we talked about that yesterday. So Big came off too, right? This is kind of a bearish flag and it's breaking down. It's under the opening range there. Still up 22% on the day. Let's look at market net flow. All right, people. So first, this is Bookmap. I just want to say we're still kind of within this area. It's still holding up, but they are kind of like adding this liquidity overhead. So it's kind of a battle right now, meaning that we're probably going to get a pretty decent sized move in the very near future. Okay, so careful right here. Yeah. Let's look at market net flow. So market net flow MarketNet
Verizon
Flow.
Victor Zulu unveiling what they're saying are some new AI tools to transform the customer experience, including personal research assistant and fast pass to resolution.
Oh gosh, Verizon, bro. Verizon's pulling the AI card, dude. They would. Oh, Verizon. Oh, Verizon. I'm very familiar with Verizon. Okay, MarketNet Flow. Let's walk through MarketNet Flow again, because a lot of people don't, they understand it and then they don't understand it, or some don't understand it. But this, I'm looking at just for the day, MarketNet Flow for the day. And this right here is telling us, hey, our dealers, do you want to move with dealers or against the dealers? Like, where is flow of the market going? And that's, understanding this gets us on the right side of trade, or protects us from being stupid and trying to buy the dip when it's a horrible time to do it, or sell the rip and fade the market when it's a horrible time to do it. Okay, so that's what this tool helps us do. It helps us get on the right side of a potential trend, or lets us know maybe it could be a choppy day. And honestly, I don't understand how people can intraday trade without looking at the flow of the market. This is for the, this to me is like the best tool to use if you're an intraday trader, because looking at just a candlestick doesn't allow for that. And I know there's individual names that might not have a correlation with the S&P 500, but a lot of the names do correlate with the SPX, because the SPX is the big boy product. That is what big hedge funds, dealers, right? They look to use the SPX or even the SPUs for ES for hedging activities. All right. MarketNet Flow is showing us the cumulative net premiums of calls and puts. So the green line is calls, red line is puts. I'm not going to break down the exact, like, everything about what happens when this line goes. Like, I'm just going to show you how to read this specific indicator. It's like, I can tell you how to read the RSI, and I can tell you the math behind the RSI, and knowing the math doesn't really do too much. I think that that's time where you can spend looking at it a little bit later. So the idea here is to look for things to diverge. Look for the green line to diverge from the red line, meaning that if the green line is above the red line, right? Green line, green go, right? That's bullish. And then the red line is more bearish, right? Cumulative net premiums for puts. So if you have a green line that's going up or trading up and the red line that's trending down, they're diverging from one another, right? And that is technically bullish, because more focus on calls than puts. When I read this right now, they're kind of flatlined. They're not really, there's a big divergence, but they're kind of flatlined, right? They're kind of going sideways. And then you see it's below the zero line, which is nice to see, okay? And then it's above, obviously, the zero line here. So bullish divergence taking place. However, you can then look at convergence. And all convergence is it's telling you if the price of SPY is moving with MarketNet Flow. And if it's gray, right? Or if you don't even have convergence, you don't need it, right? You can understand that SPY is not moving with this set of MarketNet Flow right now. But it gives us insights to that, hey, it's gray. That means you can have a kind of a contra move to whatever MarketNet Flow is doing, all right? On very bullish days, what you'll see is the red line going flat like this, and the green line's kind of just going up and diverging more and more. And then this thing just lights up green and starts turning back up. That's really bullish. On bearish days, and that's when it's like that, it's a straight sign of saying, okay, you look to buy the dip. Do not get aggressive trying to sell into this market, because you can get your face ripped off. Right now, it's not giving us much of an edge. Anytime it's gray, I don't really get the edge. Red line, if it's the red line's up here and it's moving up, and the green line's flat line or going down, let's say below zero, and this is red, that means, watch out for buying the dip, because we might just all of a sudden get something that rips our faces off to the downside.
Revenue up 11.3% and 1.3%.
So it's all about looking at the divergence of these two lines and the flow of them. If they're moving up and away from each other, it could be really bullish, really bearish, and it tells us, whether or not be on the right side of the trade. And then convergence is their kind of way of saying, if SPY is moving with that MarketNet Flow. So anytime it's gray, there's no edge. But when it is green or red, that gives us an idea that, hey, don't fight this flow. So that's what that is. Hope that helps. If you're in the Discord, you can pull up this MarketNet Flow chart. It doesn't have the convergence here. They don't allow for that. But in the query channel in the Discord, you can type in the query channel, and it'll pop up the updated version of it. That's in the Discord. Or you can just sign up for TradyTix service. TradyTix that's like, 50 or 60 bucks a month. It has all kinds of stuff, including this market net flow chart. The one in my Discord, which is from TradyTix, I bought the entire suite and I gave it to everybody for the $9. All the bots, all the everything in there. It doesn't show convergence, but it shows momentum. So it looks like this. Maybe one day they'll update that, but it'll show momentum, which is a different reading. Still useful tool regardless. And then you could look at like gamma levels for all the individual equity. There's all kinds of stuff you can type into the query. The people use it all the time. Like if I were to just take a quick screenshot here, I'm not going to try to get anybody's, I can't really help getting anybody's names, but you'll see. See people type in the query channel and they can bring up different charts and so forth. It's pretty cool. It's a cool little tool that's included in the little in the Discord stuff. Okay. Let me bring it back up my Thinkorswim platform. Flow's not negative. Flow's not negative today. Flow's positive. Bullish market net flow today. Looks good. That's why I'm saying that I don't really expect. So when I read this right now and I look at the current market, so let me pull on convergence. So we don't have convergence here, right? Okay, so you could have the contra moves, which has been moving to the downside. But market net flow is bullish right now. There's not really a big change in puts. It's not like it's going up and creeping up like this. So when I look at this, I'm like, it's just choppy. It's just choppy. And if anything, I'd be looking to buy the dip. Right? And we're pulling into that 52.25. We're kind of holding up here. So to see it pop back up, like, would I be shocked? No, I wouldn't be shocked because market net flow is still technically bullish. So one thing that I would say is why I said earlier, I find it hard to believe that we'd be at 5,200 or 5,190 today if this remains the same. Why is volume so low? Like volume of me talking or the volume of today's trading session? I don't know. Probably because I'm not talking louder. Shabba dabba 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 dabba. You're passive. Y'all funny. Y'all funny. Scoo-doo-doo-ba-ba-doo. Oopsies. Didn't mean to do that. Let me see something. I do. GME is looking like it's finding a little bit of strength here. Look, do you see how they keep on adding overhead over here? Oh yeah, let's pull up GME. I want to see that. Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
For 12/11 in Hong Kong, BYD, the Chinese EV manufacturer, unveiling a Shark midsize hybrid EV pickup truck in an event in Mexico.
President Biden in his presentation formally announcing 100% tariff on Chinese EVs, 25% tariff on EV batteries from China.
All right, so what do we got on deck for earnings? Don't we have some interesting names coming up for earnings today? Let's pull that up. Any interesting names that people want to pull up? This week we got, oh wait, let's pull up the market here. Today's Tuesday. So we had Baba after the close. We got Monday before the open. Monday looked pretty good, actually. I want to see Monday chart now. looked good. It don't look as good now. But we'll see what earnings brings. It's getting very tight over here. Unfortunately, like it looks very bearish, but who knows what earnings brings. Earnings could shoot this thing right back up. I want to see what looking at like a $26 expected move. Oh, wow, okay.
EACV and Kavis reporting revenue of 86.6 million euro.
I'll turn up the volume again. I turned it down because I thought it was clipping.
Also firming their
Everyone was complaining that it was clipping. And also I was talking quieter. I don't know. Right now, it probably should sound fine. But I'm seeing a little bit of yellow, so might be some people that say, it's clipping. Thanks. Trox, PDD, and Hasbro. Yeah, those are all great names. Trox was one also. Yeah, Trox was looking good, right? Yeah, Trox, nice little consolidation over here after its bullish earnings. So this one had a nice breakout on earnings, and now it's consolidating there sideways. Be nice to see this come in a little bit and consolidate a little bit more. Pinduoduo. I like Pinduoduo too. If you like Chinese names, I mean, this one's also consolidating. After a consolidation here, it led to the upside. Now we're, consolidating here. These nice consolidations allow for better risk management, right? So if we break out to the upside, it's a good idea. You have a good idea of where a stop is, where the trade can go wrong. And then Hasbro. Oh yeah, Hasbro, the toy company. Right. Yeah. Also, kind of it got tight here, and then we see a little bit of a pop today in bullish context too. And this was after a nice big bullish earnings gap there too as well. Another good one that looked solid. Hasbro. FCX broke out. FCX made a move. Yeah, look at that. Nice. So FCX had a nice consolidation over here. That looked like it made a move. I think Alcoa made a nicer move out. That was from the tight list. Yeah, take a look at Alcoa. Alcoa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but very solid little pivot level here, and it got very tight, and then we saw that nice break. It's coming in a little bit today, so maybe if it tightens up again, it gives us another opportunity for entry here. But Alcoa, pretty clean. Any idea where BlackBerry's going? No, I don't got any idea here. I look at BlackBerry, and it's like, kind of all over the place. I think somebody talked about this one yesterday and said, hey, if it goes to the 200-day, it looked like it opened the day there. So, and then it's kind of fell flat on its face. Was it you that talked about BlackBerry or no? Somebody had mentioned just on the other day, said something about, would you take profits? And I said, I can't really give advice, but if I was in the position, yeah, I'd probably look if it comes up into these ranges and I was up, 20+% on the thing, I'd consider updating my risk, right? So take partial profits, updating my stops, doing something like that. Because who knows how high these things could go. So you can always leave a little on the table, but you don't need to you don't need to catch the entire entry and go as far, like you're not going to catch, if you focus on trying to catch the top, it's very difficult, right? But if you take a little bit off, it leaves you room for potentially moving higher. And it'd be the same situation as it stands right where it is, right? If you took some profits up in here, you can probably update your stop loss or, just take some of the profits. That'd be, in theory, a similar way of reducing risk or updating your risk parameters. And if you think it's going to go higher, then you leave some on, right? Right now, it's underneath the opening range for the minute. Let's take a look back at GameStop, GME. Just kind of just holding itself together here. Still very tight, and it kind of broke down slightly, but it not really a full breakdown over here yet. AMC did see some more sell side activity. That one's some profit takers definitely stepping in as we're up now 34% on the day. Some other big names, Big Lots taking down. That's not really a big name, but that was up quite a bit. What was some other big ones? Some of the other got UAA, BMO, XRT, Carry. Yeah, those are, UAA, I think we talked about a little bit earlier. No, we didn't. No, UAA? Under Armour? No, I was not talking about that one earlier. My bad. That's coming into earnings. Is this like a higher short interest name? I mean, it's getting pretty tight here. That's for sure. But it's coming into earnings, so who knows what that's going to happen to bring.
$29.4 million in revenue was down from
Expected move is about 71 cents.
$34.1 million in the year ago period. Michael Tango Echo X-Ray.
FFIE. Was that on the tight list? That sounds familiar. No, that wasn't on the tight list. That was more of a... This was a high short interest name, huh? Yeah, high short interest name for sure. Holy moly. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, careful here. Up 391%. No big deal. Yeah, a little crazy. Yeah, that thing's moving, squeezing. We did talk about, on yesterday's stream, we talked about F-Cell. I wonder what that's doing. Yeah, oh, look at that. Up 34%. So yesterday we looked up the party starter scan, and it was up. It was right here. It was at like 68 or 69 cents, and now it's up 30%. There was another one we talked about too, actually. It was like PR, but that was like an oil name. That's pretty much flat on the day. A lot of these actually. F-Cell, PCT up 10%. Blink, another high short interest names following through, getting 10%. Chewy's breaking out of this little pivot over here, and it's coming into earnings. SoFi, also seeing a little bit of a squeeze here. So it's kind of just the higher short interest names are making some moves today. Nikola, no, nothing crazy. WW, what's WW? WW might be a short squeeze candidate. I don't know why that's on my list. I can't really remember why this one's on my list, but maybe it's because it's a higher short interest name. And it's kind of just consolidating, contracting up in this area. So this could be a potential short squeeze candidate. Let me see the, I'll pull up the short interest on it. I'll just use FinViz. I honestly don't remember why this one's on my, it says 21%. So this is a pretty high short float name. So perhaps this one has some squeeze potential. Yeah, perhaps. Hasn't moved yet, so. All right, the S&P 500, we still have this liquidity being added overhead, and we're still kind of holding together, holding this little area. So nothing's broken yet. We have the liquidity above us, liquidity below us, and it's kind of this big fight. So we'll probably have a substantial move, like I said, here fairly soon for the most part. Vital Farms. I buy their eggs. VITL. Oh, holy moly. That actually looks pretty good. Yeah, talk about a freaking rampant. What about Calm then? Or was it Calm, right? Isn't that like another one that produces eggs or something like that? Calm? Cal-Maine Foods? Or no? That one does not look as good. Yeah, Vital's just consolidating right now. Look at that. That's crazy. Just nice, strong move. Then earnings gapped up even further. Now, you know, that'd be nice if it flagged out a little bit longer. Potentially another leg higher there. That's, yeah, good. Vital. Nice looking chart. I want to kind of wait to see, you know, if this is going to break or not here. Come on now. It's holding up. Market net flow is still bullish. It's coming down a little bit here. Convergence, still no convergence. So that suggests we can have counter moves, right? But we're still kind of pinched between those areas of liquidity. It's just all about just being patient here. I want to pull up my portfolio, see what's going on now. My swing trading portfolio, at least. Oh, my day trading portfolio. I think I've accidentally left something on too. Let me hold up. I thought I had a GameStop position. Oh, you dang straight, dude. Is it halted? Oh, never mind. Never mind. I thought I had one. My bad. I do not. Kai, K-I-E? What's Kai? A lot of names that I'm not familiar with. KIE Insurance ETF. Oh, okay. Insurance names have been looking pretty good, to be honest, Eco. Insurance names have been looking very good. So this one, I'm just looking right out of the gate, kind of like you have these higher lows and then lower highs contracted, right? Boom, we saw the breakout. And now it's holding above these key averages. I'd like to see it consolidate a little bit more, and it looks like it can come back for that 52, 56. But, insurance names. So what's some insurance names? We have, like ORI? No, not PRI, ORI, right? ORI, it's sitting at pretty much highs of the year. Okay, so that's one of them. What's like PGR? Progressive, it's sitting at about highs for the year here too, right? A lot of insurance names looking pretty darn good. Are they perfect entry material in this current moment? And we'll know that in hindsight, but I look for the contractions, and they are contracting here. They're basing out. That could be a potential good sign for these some of these insurance names. So yeah, good call. Let's see if there's anything popping up on our that hasn't moved yet on the party starter scan. Riri. I don't know what Riri is. I think we talked about that one yesterday. Oh, earnings is around the corner. What's his volume look like? Not horrible volume. I have no idea what this is, but so I look at Riri and it's contracting here, but it is coming into earnings. But we are getting some unusual volume, kind of coiling up here. Could be a potential move higher, and it's somewhat trying to turn back into bullish context. No idea what that is. Thoughts on NASDAQ, like NDX, or I'm going to just look at Qs? I'll pull up the Qs. I mean, okay, I think we're going to new highs? I mean, we're not far off, right? We're 1% away. So to go to new highs, I mean, the probability of it would be saying, yeah, like this is a higher probability because we're above a rising 5-day moving average and we're in positive gamma territory. That can change quick. This move up has been kind of flatlined. You can look at a lot of these indicators that tell us that the move is kind of slowing down. And why would it be slowing down? I mean, because it's been going straight up. So I would prefer, if we are going to hit all-time highs, to not do this, right? And we have CPI tomorrow, so we don't take your bet, right? Or just step aside and let it happen. MNQ, it's fairly the same stuff, right? I'll just pull up NQ. It's the same chart for the most part. All right, so it's been kind of slow dragging up, and now we're walking into an event that's going to have high volatility. So I would prefer, instead of this going straight up, I would prefer it to actually consolidate and flag out. And then I'd say, yeah, this looks good, right? And then we can actually have a more solid opportunity to go back for these all-time highs. But a lot of the times where you get these squeezy type of moves where they just keep dragging up higher, it makes it very difficult, right, to find new entries. You kind of just got to close your eyes and go for it and say that's where it's going to go. But I think that the risk, obviously, I think it looks like we're going to go back to the all-time highs or retest it. But me personally, I would prefer to see consolidation and a pullback before that. And if we go test the new highs, then say if it goes straight up, okay, so boom, we got new highs right away, boom, quick move. Then I would say, look at the chart. Where do we come from? We're going to get a consolidation here soon. So that could be a little bit of a bull trap. It could go to consolidation, and then we play it from that area. So right now it's more about being patient than anything. It's about being patient, very patient, because when volatility enters back in,
moving higher on a press report that Jana Partners is said to have built a position ahead of
crazy things happen.
13F release later this week.
SPY down on the day, but it's roughly flat. So SPY is consolidating. That whole binary event. So going into tomorrow, let's look at tomorrow. We're looking at a $4.62 move for SPY. That's a large expected move for SPY, right? $4.60. I mean, that's as of right now. That could bring us to an all-time high. Like literally, when the report drops, we can go tag the all-time high in SPY if the market likes what it sees. On the flip side of that, and this is just one standard deviation, we come right back down for a nice little pullback there of, you know, 1% or so. One standard deviation move. Yeah, maybe Eco. I can see it playing both ways. I mean, as it tightens up, you can play a breakdown, you can play a breakout. I mean, either way, you know. You just, you know, you find your stop and you say, if you're wrong, you know when you're wrong. And if you're right, you know where you're right. The idea behind trend following is like, you know, strong stocks get stronger, weak stocks get weaker. So if you are fading the trend, just like if you were to fade the trend, like, you know, sometimes I play, like, for example, I played Lulu, right? I faded the trend. I went long over here. When you fade the trend, you got to kind of be a little bit more aggressive, or I personally have to be a little bit more aggressive, because if the trend starts to continue to the downside, like for example, I will pull up BABA, right? If you look at, you know, all these moves within BABA, I'll go the weekly time frame, all these bounces, right? People, it's coming back, it's coming back, it's coming back. But every single time, right, it's basically made another low, right? A new low, a new low, a new low, a new low, and so forth. And then it started consolidating. So, you know, people think it's going to be, oh, this is the time, this is where it's going to happen. And then it didn't happen. That's just an example. It looks like BABA got hit today. Wow. Everyone was pumped up on BABA earnings too. Look at it moved up the day prior, then earnings came out, and then it faded on us. That's actually an opportunity, in my opinion. I think that's a good opportunity. I think we need to wait for it to consolidate and see how it plays out. But, you know, it went far and fast, and then it came in. So if China's really going to be making a move here, I'd be watching these names closely. DIDIY seeing some volatility. Pinduoduo, this one's still holding up rather well. Earnings is around the corner though. What about TAL? That was looking decent. TAL, TAL, this one contracted here and it's getting tight here too as well. So a break above 14, maybe something here on TAL. I mean, look at this. Contracting, right? Range trading, but contracting. What about EDU? That's a better name. That's been better. These names are so choppy. It's hard to find a good entry. So when they're that choppy, you got to go to the weekly time frames, right? And then it cleans things up a little bit. All right, so notice here, we had some inside trading weeks, and then we broke the high of this prior trading week. So that right there would be the trade, right? Breaking the high of this inside trading week. It's still within this week, but you'd have a stop down here, or now you'd be moving the stop to the low of this week. But I mean, that looks good. It makes things a lot easier to read if things are really crazy on the daily time frame and volatility is everywhere, zoom out, and it makes things a little bit more cleaner for you to understand, right? Like this looks crazy. This, I mean, looks pretty clean, right? GME's halted. Oh, wow. It's getting cracked here, huh? So I guess it is following that AMC path, at least for now. I gotta know when that opens back up. It just opened back up. Okay. I mean, gosh, this move was quick. Like, look at this. So we contracted and then we broke down. What kind of move? Like, that was like down 14% in a matter of a few minutes. S&P 500. Oh, we're actually getting some liquidity being added beneath us, but we still have it overhead too. Talk about just tight markets right now. Tight markets right now. Roku. Yeah, Roku was actually looking real good earlier. And now not so much. The excitement's kind of fading right now, but that's okay because sometimes, dude, like profit takers have to come in, and then you get this kind of excitement again. But just, you know, look where it went from, right? It was a quick and aggressive move. These meme stocks, quick and aggressive. They came in hot. They went for it. Just telling you now, don't be the FOMO type. If you start FOMOing into things, You can, it's just never good because you enter in when you shouldn't be entering in. The chances are if you pull up a chart, you'll be able to find a position to enter into pretty much right out of the gate. You can be looking at this, boom, oh, I could probably enter right here. What about this dip? The thing is, if you just pull up a chart and you just enter in, the chances of you getting a perfect and not waiting for it and you just enter in just to enter in, a perfect entry is very, very unlikely. So just being patient in all these times is a huge importance, right? Because like I said, a few minutes you can have a move that goes, 10%. Like this right here, it was contracting. We had the lower highs. And, if you were buying long, you were playing for the breakout. But if it broke down and you understood that, hey, if it breaks down, we can have expansion to the downside, then Then it's like, okay, well, I took a shot. It didn't work. You get out. And that's it. It's quick and easy. So you're just managing risk as you see fit. And if you believe right now is a position to go long, okay, well, where'd you stop it? Well, maybe this swing low. So you enter in, and like if it gets you out, okay, well, I guess the trend continues to the downside, or hey, I got lucky and it went up, right? But understand that if you are going long in these areas, you'd be fighting the current trend breakdown, right? So not the greatest look. Can you get lucky? Sure, but you'd be fighting the trend. You do that over time, and enough times the trend is going to beat your face. Beat your face in. Most traders are down big today, so we could get a bounce soon. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there are traders that are down today. I hope a lot of people that are watching this stream and paying attention to risk, aren't just getting completely obliterated. She sings about. I forgot to draw the downside possibility. I always do. Becan. What's Becan? Ooh. Beyond Canasoft. Where are you getting these names from? These days are crazy. Look how it's getting tight here and we're seeing a little pop there. Oh man, I'm no good at trading these little dollar names, but man, talk about just wild moves. It is pretty exciting. Am I muted? I don't think so. Damn, dude, my audio is all over the place today. There's people that like it and there's people that are saying, no, it's not good. Am I muted? Test. No, I'm not muted. No way. Yeah, those penny ripper days, it's great. Wait, what? Are you guys messing with me? Can you not hear my live right now? Test. Oh, God, you stop messing with me, people. Twitch is working. No, I'm not muted. Okay, thank you. I keep getting trolled. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it was their audio. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. Jeez, man. Okay. We're still watching over here. Are we going to be getting the break? It feels like we're going to get the break to the downside. We're going to meaning that we're going to fill this liquidity because they keep on adding, right? They keep stepping it down. It's not like it's clear sailing above it. Look, they just added some more there. They're adding here below too. What a fight, man. This literally looks like a big old fight taking place right now. It's back and forth. I'm good. I don't want to enter into this fight. This is like if you were to go to like a restaurant and all of a sudden like somebody started fighting with the waiter and like getting all arguing and all mad and you're like, and started cussing and you have your kids there or something and you're like, hey, be quiet. What's going on?
The oven's not working again.
You need it right now?
I was going to preheat it for the bread, but it's shut off. It says like the wrong time.
All right, give me a second. Man, our oven keeps on going out. I think something to do with our breaker. Breaker, 1, 2, 3. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's like you see them fighting and arguing, and like part of you is like, hey, dude, I got kids here. Can you take this outside, or can you just not do that? But then there's other times where like, dude, you might see like he's kind of a little crazy, and you're like, I don't want to enter into that. Like, I'm not even gonna say anything. I think instead of saying anything, I'm just going to kind of like get out of here and say, hey, you know what? We're cool. We're leaving. It's kind of what this feels like right here. I'm looking at that. And I'm like, I don't think anything bad's going to happen, but this guy looks a little wild, a little crazy, a little bit of a joker card. You never know. A wild card. You don't know what he's going to pull, you know, and he might have a, you know, who knows what he's carrying. So I'm just going to pull myself from the situation versus trying to solve for what's going on. You know what I'm saying? He's got a knife. Watch out. That's what I feel right here. All right, give me a second, and I got to go reset our breakers.
Starting to hear from Alphabet.
Hopefully that didn't shut my stream off, but I guarantee you the move's going to happen while I'm not looking at my computer screen.
Developers use the company's
Of course,
Gemini
though.
AI models.
Of course, though, right? Because that's just what happens. You just got your taken to work. Yeah, 30 minutes, nothing's happened. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nothing's happened. Look at these things light up. You see these things start to light up? Move is coming here. We're going to get some liquidity filled. Yeah, Moonraker's right, dude. The guy might be, the guy may literally legitimately have a baby pet alligator in his backpack.
Search across the U.S. this week.
And you never know what he can do with that thing, right? You never know. It might be like another Coco. All right, dude. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Are we going underwaters here, dude? Are we gonna dive deep into the great blue ocean? Are we gonna be visiting SpongeBob, or are we gonna be hopping on a rocket ship? You tell me. You tell me, people. But right now, I'm just kind of just chilling in my little house over here. Oh. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Okay, let's go. Yeah, trading meme stocks isn't quite worth it. Oh yeah, what are these meme stocks doing right now? I mean, it could be worth it. It could be lucrative. You just got to be, oh my God, goodness. My goodness. Oh, look at this, man. Oh my goodness. Lighting up here. They're doing whatever they can to hold this thing together. They really don't want to go under the sea right now. They really don't want to go underwater. It feels like we're under the sea when we're on the book map over here. Trading options on meme stock is a good way to lose your money. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good ways to lose money here in these markets, huh? It is true. It's kind of clearing up overhead. So careful here because, I mean, okay, we're adding some. But when it starts bluing up overseas, that means there's not much liquidity overhead, so you can get these pops backs as long as these kind of areas hold. But right now, they're kind of just applying the pressure here still. It's the same thing that when there's like blue water beneath us, right? And there's like red overhead, it's like watch out because we can see fast, kind of aggressive moves. Actually, a lot of the times on like, you know, if the market's going to go lower, it has to break up first. And then you see like they trap more people and then it comes in. But we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of just... This is boring as heck. Still no convergence. This one upticked slightly. 52.20 could be a level of interest. Market net flow's coming in a little bit, but the bulls are still holding their little holding steady here. All right, I'll be right back. I got to go reset our little oven thing. Market net flow, it's bullish. It's bullish divergence, but no convergence. So that means we can have those contra moves, which we've been getting. And the green is actually kind of coming down here. So the Cumin at premiums for calls have been coming up. Red is kind of moving up. So the divergence would be technically coming together. They'd be converging. They're not quite diverging. I mean, they're still a divergence, but they're coming in. So when I say that, I just think chop, right? Just think chop. I'll leave this up for right now, and then I'm gonna go grab. I'll be right back. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay. Quick break. Be right back.
Alphabet saying they are doubling the prompt size allowance in 2 million tokens for their flagship Gemini 1.5 Pro model.
Okay, I'm back. Okay. Like the pineapples. Is it pineapple? Oh my gosh, guess what? We went nowhere. Holy moly. That's crazy. Okay, let's go. All right. All right, all right, all right. Looks like GameStop's getting kind of clapped right now. Where are we at? Up 21% on the day. So a lot of these short names are getting flabbergasted. Still up 21%, but yeah, these things are getting, it looks like it's halted right now. What did AMC end up doing? It's up 16% on the day. It's crazy thing. It's like, it's still up 16% on the day, but it was up 100% pre-market. So that's pretty crazy. A lot of these names are just getting bonkered hit. Big Lots, 13% on the day. That's almost as much as AMC, but it was up quite a bit more than that earlier. What are some other of these big meme namies that are just probably getting clobbered? And then the SPY is just holding up-ish right here, getting very tight. It's underneath the opening range. It's also below the daily VWAP. I mean, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great, right? The support of the market is right here, and we're getting still liquidity added overhead. I still think we're pineappling. Feels that way, at least. Are we about to pineapple under the sea right now? At least fill the liquidity below us. That was what I would imagine would happen. Come visit me in my house. Is pineappling a verb? We're pineappling right now. Do I do crypto investing as well? Yeah, I like trading crypto. I do. Trader Gens. I like to look at the cellular shift tool to kind of give that idea. What's crypto doing right now? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Man, it's down 3%. Still kind of getting sideways, some sideways chop here. We haven't got an official buy signal yet. It was looking good. I think I talked about it on last night's video. At the very end, I talked about it. But we still don't have that kind of official. And I know people that don't use my strategy, but they kind of use the tools to front run it. You get more whipsaws, and we're kind of getting that in this current moment, but tomorrow can change. So I mean, it doesn't look horrible. I mean, I can show you a way to look at this where it would look horrible. I can show you a way that looks bullish, and then also Ethereum, lower highs, but this is also getting pretty tight here too. So I prefer to wait for the buy signal. It's not there yet, or buy trigger. It's just it ain't there yet. Maybe it comes. Look at these guys. They're still there. They're holding it together. They're like, yeah, it ain't going to happen, brother. Sorry, bears. If the bears give up here too, we can have a squeeze right back up, right? The longer that they try and they fail, someone's gonna throw in the towel, right? So we're sitting at the table. We're looking looking at a couple of tables over there. The people are still arguing and fighting. Baby alligator's about to come out. Things are going crazy, and I'm just sitting there on the sidelines like, yeah, I'm chill. I'm gonna let this one play out. Mara, your brother in arms. Let's take a look at Mara. Let's take a look. I mean, gee, it's kind of all over the place, It's kind of all over the place. But if we do get the buy signal, buy trigger, sometimes they play with the move of Bitcoin, right? There's a tight correlation. Like all these pops are getting faded, but okay, so we see these higher lows and higher highs. So in the short term, it's kind of trending up. So that's positive. So if it starts breaking this low, I'd say, watch out, These names are so volatile. I like when they tighten up though, because there's been nice little pops when they tighten up, right? Even right here, it tightened up. Right here, it tightened up. And then volatility enters back in. It gives you some good risk. Right here, it tightened up. It expanded to the downside. Kind of tightening up here. Maybe give it a little bit more time, but put it back, put the orders in. This is crazy how tight this is. I got to look at this in the 1 minute time frame. This is hilarious to me. Let me see here. Look at this. Just like All right, volatility is about to enter back into the chat room here. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. That was getting very tight there. So you're going to see some pops. And they're still holding. Oh, who doesn't live on a pineapple? I wish I was clever to hit it. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, thanks for subscribing to the channel, Leo, DWG, Paul, an hour ago, Mena, Suited. We're getting a lot of people subscribing to the channel for YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate you guys joining in. Let's go back over to the tiny cam. As the bull camp is still being held up here, right? So are the bears going to throw in the towel, or are we just going to get a little bit of a move like so? Right now, it's very very fun trading day if you're looking at the S&P 500. All right. Yeah, look at these moves. Boom. Got so tight, and then we had to move from that. It's only so long that it can be contracted for. These little tight little moves. And then overall, we're just within inside yesterday's trading day. Dude, we haven't actually had a down day. Jeez, look at this. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 7, up 8. We've had 8 trading days in a row that were green without any pullbacks. And now we're basically break even right here. That's probably, a record, for a couple of years, right? I'd have to go back and look to the last time we had 8 trading days to the upside. Similarly, on the flip side, this over here was like the most losing trading days or whatever. I forget exactly when. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days, right? That only happened like 3 times in the last 5 years. I posted a tweet about that, right? So it's very rare to see that many in a row down. And like the most we've seen was like in the last 5 years was on the pandemic. I think that was like 7 or 8 or something like that. Just a few more ago, yeah. Do we have 9 up days in a row? Last year? Was it last year? 2023? Maybe. I'd have to look. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen, that many up days in a row.
Trader Ties saying that they'll issue specific tariff timing and exclusions.
Okay, so this is probably what's going to happen, people. Okay, we're gonna get a crazy move out of this tight contraction. Okay, it's gonna be like crazy, right? We're gonna see some volatility come back in. It's gonna expand. That's gonna be the upside or downside. And then all of a sudden, my timeline, we're gonna get a lot of people going, CPI leaked. The CPI report leaked. Okay, that's what's gonna happen.
For Citigroup,
probably towards the end of the day.
Times reporting that one of the top executives in charge of the restructuring is going to be exiting the firm.
Yeah, maybe we did, Moonraker. I'd have to go look. So a cool way to do this, Moonraker. I know you'd probably like this. You can go to Yahoo Finance, right? Go to Yahoo Finance and type in the ticker and go to the historical data tab, and you could download the historical data. And then you could just, in an Excel document, you could put that in to ChatGPT, the document itself. Well, if you have ChatGPT, put the document in itself and just say, hey, when's the last time we've had X amount of days in a row like this up? And use the closing price of the prior trading day to the closing price of, the next day or whatever. And if it's higher, go from there. And then it does it really quick. It'll do it for you. It's pretty cool. I'll show you what I did. Like I did that here for this one. Where did I do it? I posted it a while ago. I even made a video on it. Well, not a video specifically on like how to do it, but the chart I did. I posted the chart. Somewhere over the rainbow. Am I still in a pineapple right now? I forgot if I switched over. Now I can't remember if I posted this chart, if I was just in my imagination. Dude, I think this was in my imagination. I'm tripping, dude. I thought I posted this. I am tripping. Maybe I didn't. Ignore me. Media. Somewhere over the rainbow. Aha! Yahoo! There it is. Yeah, this right here. Yeah. So it highlighted in red the times we had losing streaks of, I think it was 5 trading days. Highlighted in red. That was all ChatGPT. And then these were the days and the percentage drops of those. So you see the 6 days, 6 days, 6 days. So there was 3 times in the last 5 years. Then there was one time with 7 days. That was the pandemic. And we went down 6% on those 6 daes, right? So if you actually, funny because this doesn't show the current one. Oh no, it does. April 14th to April 18th. But that was only on the day 5. So when it went to day 6, it's kind of cool. You look at day 6. Where was it? What was the first down day from right here? Yeah, right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it hit a low of 4.6%. Pretty cool. So it wasn't aggressive as those other ones. Yeah. Okay, let's go. I'm about to leak the CPI.
Google DeepMind CEO announcing work to build universal AI agent called Project Astra.
Project these. SPY is still trading outside of its opening range. Doing absolutely nothing. But the bears may be throwing in the towel here. If we take a look over here at market net flow, we are starting to gain convergence back. So, you know, if this starts turning green, maybe we get actually a pop in the markets. Still, it's very hard to tell. What are we doing on the day? We're unchanged on the trading session, going sideways, putting in higher lows so far. Outside of the upper expected move for the month, still as it stands. Chowda. Oh, I'm not in a pineapple still, am I? No, I'm not. Okay, good. I'm out of the pineapple. All right, I'm gonna take a look at the expected move going into tomorrow. Right now, we're just like we're stopped chopping around. It's pretty much a nothing burger so far. If we start moving up a little bit higher, look for the daily VWAP. But as it stands, they could not close the job here and fill that liquidity that was beneath us. So they started throwing in the towel. This could be just a higher low again, right? So we have a high, a little high peak, a high peak, a high peak. I don't know if this is gonna be a high peak or not, but we'll see if once it starts turning down, we'll know. Or if it starts turning down, and we have all these lower highs. Price has been stepping down, and now it's trying to come back up. So if we start breaking back into the expected move, okay, that's one thing. Start looking for a tag of the daily VWAP. Daily VWAP, even on ES, has some liquidity over there too as well. Okay. Bears are not throwing in, or the bulls aren't throwing in the towel. The expected move going into tomorrow so far is about $4.60 still as it stands. It could bring us right back to all-time highs, and we could party on. Market net flow, still no convergence, but it looks like it's waning, like we potentially might get, back into it. See here, 52.20, 52.20 is kind of a pin. We're 6 points from this. And then 52.40 was the call wall.
Seeing what appears to be a statement there confirming one of the earlier press reports that they're going to be cutting up to hundreds of corporate jobs. Walmart saying that some parts of the business have made changes that will result in a reduction of several hundred campus roles.
Walmart's getting clobbered today. I mean, it's only down 1%, or 1.5%. But if you notice, look at the range of that candle. It's actually pretty wild. The down days, look how big the down days candles have been. They've been pretty dramatic. A lot of, could be potentially distribution here. Still holding up rather well, but it is getting a little choppy. Let's look at the weekly time frame for Walmart. A little bearish crossover there. Fighting the 10 week, but it's been going sideways for multiple weeks here, so no trend. No trend in the short term. CPI is coming out an hour before the market opens up. Pacific Standard Time, that's 5:30, so 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Are there good ways to indicate whole market stall? I'm not too sure I understand the question. Palantir is available to business consumer. Oh, Palantir is? Yeah, how's Palantir looking? Palantir didn't have the greatest earnings look, right? And then, yeah, it had a great day before it, and then earnings came out and it kind of got waxed. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to make of these charts. These charts, they're just all over the place. It's like, good luck with that. But if I look at the weekly time frame, it closes in and says, oh, we're above a rising 40-week moving average. It's technically in an up channel. We're putting in higher highs, higher lows, right? When we pulled back into it last time, we saw a nice big explosive move. And yeah, I think the weekly time frame really slows down like the crazy volatility. So I think right now would be more important to be focusing on a lot of the weekly charts, because this doesn't look like the trend's broken on a larger time frame. The daily time frame is like, dude, whoa, what am I supposed to do with this, right?
Reportedly in an interview saying there's a lot of inbound interest and that they're open to a partnership.
This
on
level looks
Huntington's
interesting, this 20 level. So if you're in it, you know, watch out for a potential break, and then, you know, maybe a retag of the 20, which is about $1 lower. All right, S&P 500 is coming into and around the daily VWAP. ES we're looking at. Now I will say, as this is happening, we don't have much beneath us. So once again, it's kind of blue waters here. So we'll see market net flow if it's supporting us. Yeah, it's starting to turn green here. So it's been waning this entire time. It's light green here, starting to turn there. But then the book map is not showing much beneath us. So as it's kind of moving up higher, are there going to be supportive bids that kind of step in to really kind of get this going? Because if there's not, then, you know, you come up here, and if we don't have enough demand to outweigh the supply overhead, you can pull back in and look for where, you know, buyers are going to step back up. Okay. Oh, there's a little bit of a light up there. So. Wally laying off. You got in at $10 this morning in typical fashion. What name? Dosser. Which name was I talking about? Sabba-dabba-dub-dub-do, shibby-dim-doo. Hey, look at this. GameStop's bidding back. Whee! AMC's bidding back. Whee! SPY's back in its opening range for the day. I'm still here hanging out, but, you know, it's a boring trading day. I haven't done much myself. It's halted again. What halted? Was it GME or GME? Yeah, it was GameStop again. Probably. I mean, it just went from $38 to $45 in like a couple minutes. Sheesh.
We'll hear from the Alphabet event. They're announcing Music AI Sandbox, a suite of music AI tools.
Google's moving. Google broke back out of its opening range. This is going to definitely help the S&P 500, having Google participate here. I guess apparently there's an event going on. Nice little consolidation here, and they're talking about AI. So if this holds up, this consolidates and makes another move, that would be pretty good for the markets. Google's been pretty bullish.
From the Google event announcing VO generative video AI model.
Man, how many people knew about the Google event? I feel like everyone knows about the Apple event, but then the Google event's like, yeah, I'm cool. Although it'd probably be important to pay attention to that stuff because, I mean, Google's a big player in the markets. Big old player in the market. Looking pretty good, man. Look at this thing. Volume coming in, volume drying up right here. Uh-oh. Let's get a move going. Ah. I'd like to see it pull back a little bit more here. But geez, this thing's holding up. Excuse me. Up 1% on the day. It's getting held up at about 171 or 171. Come in a little bit. Come in a little bit. Nvidia's still looking good. Yeah, is Nvidia playing into this too? Yeah, Nvidia's looking fine, especially on the daily time frame. Sorry, it's all like crowded right there. I'm going to just remove this box. That was to highlight the consolidation that was going on. Even the 15-minute time frame is getting pretty tight here, right? So not only is the daily time frame getting tight, but the 15-minute is getting pretty tight here too. So if I look at Nvidia, like, yeah, this looks pretty cool. Yeah, yep. If I look at Nvidia, look at the 15-minute time frame coiling up, you can have a clear idea for stops here and or here if it does start breaking out today, right? If it does. Like I said, CPIs are around the corner, so that kind of puts a wrench in things. But overall, I mean, it's holding up rather well for the most part, right? There's Google. It popped up a little bit higher. I wish I would have seen a consolidation before the move higher there like that. Didn't quite happen, but we'll see. So this is interesting to me as far as like day trades go. We are coming into this, daily VWAP and stuff. We're not too far, and we started getting bids beneath us. And as this is happening, market net flow is gaining some convergence here. So this gives us opportunities to look at these type of patterns as this is pulling in to potentially play it more to the upside, okay? And potentially even NVIDIA. So I like the looks of these things from an intraday perspective. So right now I'd be watching for this 171. And then while this is consolidating, let's look at NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA still consolidating here too as well. Where's the, we can pull up bookmap on NVIDIA, but right about here is kind of that level,
the State Department
909-ish.
That they do not want to see a major operation into Rafah.
So we have a low, a higher low,
We have not seen one yet.
kind of a higher low right now, somewhat trying to be informed, and it's getting pretty tight here. So 909 would be kind of the level that I'd be eyeing in on from an intraday perspective. That's what I'd be kind of like waiting for, price to like turn back up and see some strength into there, get back tight, and then go for it. If we're going to get a move, right? If we're going to get a move in the markets, I feel like NVIDIA and Google could be ones to watch as they're holding up rather well today. Okay, so they're consolidating here with the volume. So we'll see. This is a 1 minute time frame. So if you want to zoom out into the 15-minute time frame, give it some more opportunity there as we're getting some volume in. Okay. So let's pull up NVIDIA. I'm kind of interested in this one. All right. 909. All right. I'll watch right there. Setting my sights on that. We'll see. We will see. All right.
Google today announcing the AI chip Trillium, a 6th generation tensor processing unit.
Thoughts on AMD? Oh, well, let's pull up AMD while that's going on. So NVIDIA's pulling in a little bit, so I would imagine AMD's pulling in a little bit here too. I mean, they don't look I mean, it's well off the highs, but you can see also here, even AMD is coiling up here, kind of just roughly riding that 20-day moving average that is declining. Where you see some strength in here, and look how volume's drying up, and then price action's getting pretty tight here too. So if you play the breakout, right, if we do start moving up higher, you can have a clear idea for a stop, either, swing low or this swing low over here. So, but it is looking like it's getting ready for a move. And very similarly, like other semiconductors, like NVIDIA, right, we'll pull up NVIDIA on the daily time frame to minimize the noise. I mean, look at this thing. It's consolidating here for multiple days, right? It's been hitting basically 890 every single day for the last 6-7 trading days, and it's also been hitting 909.50, 912, right? Kind of getting hung up at 912 right here. You can see, tried to go for it, couldn't hold it, couldn't hold it, and today it's not holding it as it stands right now. So let's zoom in, 15-minute time frame. We have today is a low, or kind of a higher low on this pullback. And now we're contracting here, putting in a higher low over here too as well. And now I'm looking, because price action got pretty tight here. Like you have this inside trading candle, and then we broke the low on the 15-minute time frame. So that's not always the greatest sign. But we'll see if that's just a little fake out. But now I'm like, okay, well, maybe if we break the high, right, which is more like 909, is why I've kind of highlighted that. That would be an ideal level. So we have this little low, this little low. This is getting very granular. But we did crack the low here on this inside trading candle. Or was it inside? It was an inside trading candle, but we did break the low. Okay. And we're getting, as price action was getting tight, we're getting that volatility there. Just on the very, very small time frame. Okay. ES is also trying to fight that daily VWAP and those orders, about 400 contracts there, hanging out right above the daily VWAP. And we are getting some supportive bids as the market's pressing higher. And while this is happening, we're starting to get convergence back. We do have support. This repels price on the SPY of 521, 520. And, where we can find potential next resistance would be 523, which is a buck or so higher. So that you can see how they stepped in, and price is actually currently above those 0-day gamma exposure levels. The red bars can magnetize price, but these can repel price. So if it gets under 520, 521, then, it could go back to back to no convergence or whatever the case may be. Hey, what's up, Chase? All right. Should we hop in the rocket ship, dude? Should we do it, or is it too early? Is it too boring of a day to be in a rocket ship? Kind of want to be in a rocket ship just to be in one, you know what I'm saying? Like, just surprise everybody, and everyone's going to be like, CPI was leaked. It came in as expected. The market ripped higher. I don't know. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. All right, we're finding this daily VWAP. We filled this liquidity, and we're starting to get supportive bids beneath us, people.
From the Google
Let's go.
Meeting saying
Let's go.
Their new video generation tool,
NVIDIA's not really moving. Let's see if Google's making a little move there.
OpenAI's Sora
no, it's still consolidating, still pulling in. This is what I actually kind of wanted to see. So still 171 is kind of where it got hung up. Now it's on the very shorter time frame. Let's activate this up, and you can see it kind of wedging again. Let's go. Not the greatest look here, but if we start finding strength back in, it could potentially create an opportunity. Okay. Let's go, baby. SPY is moving and grooving. We're getting some support beneath us too. The bulls did not throw in the towel. The bears did down here. The bears threw in the towel this time around, people. Oh, geez. As I say that, did you see what just happened right there? Like 500 contracts ended up in there. Let's see if we can just outweigh that. Keep on smashing their faces. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Oh. Okay. Don't mock the bears. I get it.
Seeing a report here.
Still
the
have
United
good
States
convergence
is
here too as well.
relaxing certain rules on government labs handling H5N1 bird flu to reduce the burden and speed the response. This temporary order includes labs handling wastewater testing, sampling.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with my sound. What about it? What about it now? Is it clipping? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? I'm talking quieter. Been hearing so much things about it, but I've been hearing opposites nonstop. Okay, yeah, so NVIDIA floating around that 909 level. I really wish, like, dude, if it would just, like, get a little tighter and then make the pop, but it does all this craziness before, you know, making breaks. It just bugs me, dude. It's never easy. They just don't want to make it easy. Look at these dudes. These little punks step right back in, right above the daily VWAP, of course. They don't want us to have fun. They just don't. But guess what? I'm about to run you over. You know why? It's because I'm getting in a rocket ship. No, that doesn't look like rocket ship material. They keep on stepping here. Ah! What punks, bro? That's not fun. Come on. See if anything's changing here. Starting to reach for 5240 again. That's about 10 points away. 5240 is up here. That's where we found prior resistance in a couple other trading days ago. Made a nice little recovery holding that 5225, and the market right now is, I mean, look, they're just keep on. When there's some demand that comes in and starts stepping in, supply enters right back into the chat room. They're like, keeping price pinned, man. There's probably not enough volume as we head into the CPI report to make any substantial move. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Market net flow is still nice and bullish here, diverging, got convergence here, and we're still above that 521 level in 520. So if we can hold that, that's a positive sign. Maybe take a little breather, come in, and then take it out. We have some support beneath us, but we have a lot more overhead supply that keeps on kind of just walking in and stepping up. Let's take a look here. If Google's pulling in, NVIDIA's breaking that 909. I'm kind of interested in it, but like after this just happened, I'm kind of like, let's see if it breaks. But it does, I hate how it did this little dip and then move up here, but it does look like it could potentially move here. So, Let's take a look at Google. Still consolidating. Kind of choppy. I'd consider this kind of flagging. Not the greatest looking flag, but I'd consider this just like a consolidation of sorts, right? Like this, kind of wedging here. All right, all right. We need this stuff to be taken out, right? We need this stuff above us to be taken out for moves. GameStop, yeah. Let's take a look at GameStop. What's happening there with GameStop? Not much. Just a little recovery off this kind of crackdown lower over here, consolidating here, getting tighter. But I don't know. Intraday, not much, but it's still up 40% on the day. Getting held up still at 909 there for NVIDIA too as well. FFIE, nice breakout. Let's take a look at FFIE. Ooh, yeah, FFIE, nice little move there out of this. Yeah, see, you get these lower highs, higher lows. Boom, get a nice little pop there on good volume. Hello. Whee! So that looks pretty good. Now it's contracting here again. Gives good idea of risk. I don't personally trade. I can't.
Expects minimal
it's
China
too
tariffs
much of a quick
in
mover for me, the
response to
penny
the
stocks.
new
But
US
I see what
tariffs.
you're saying. Yeah, the good little move, and then you have a clear idea of risk. You know, whether you want to do a stop here, 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 or split them up a little bit. But good break on good volume. And now if we can get follow through, great. And if it doesn't, you know, you could be break even, or you can have a little bit of a loss. Faraday future. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Google's still contracting there. Getting pretty tight. We'll see if it takes another swing down or if it breaks out finally. And if it does break up, and NVIDIA too, I think that's going to really help propel the market through these levels. Do you see how they stepped in right here? And then it started knocking down. But what I will say, as it stands in this current moment, the market's holding up rather well. Right? Rather well when they stepped in. So the more we kind of go for it and we can hold up in this area, the bears may throw in the towel and the bulls might try to like remake this move up. We'll see. We're playing chop here, people. That's pretty much what this is. It's chop because we have our report coming out tomorrow. Big order just came in here on 0-date flow. Let's see what that does. That was the biggest order all day. So some big order came in on SPY. Can't really do much, man. How about Pan Am? Is that what's the ticker for Pan Am? Like, is that PANW or whatever? Is that Pan Am? That's Palo Alto Networks. Which doesn't look horrible. Isn't this a Nancy Pelosi stock? It's consolidating up here too.
H&R Reed FFO at just under 30 cents a share.
Zpre, what do I think about GME and AMC? Are we done for the day? I mean, dude, anything, like, that's the thing about short squeezes, dude. If you try to predict what's going to happen, it's very difficult to do so. But yeah, it's looking like profit takers stepped in, and now it's going to have to kind of just get some more energy, right? Like, it's a little bit too hard to like say, hey, yeah, this is a great entry right here, or enter in or add more to your position after the day was up over 100%, right? And we're coming back in, because you can wake up tomorrow, dude, and it could be right back in here. I will say, when you get big moves like this, like huge range candles, it's always typical to get inside trading days, meaning the next day we trade within inside the high and inside the low, right? So it means we gap up, oh, it's back, and then it does this for like ever, right? After huge volatility swings. But it's a little too hard to determine, man. It's like and anybody that says that they know what's going to happen, I would highly recommend ignoring, right? AMC, right? Well off its highs. Is the squeeze over? I don't know. You can look at days to cover. Is probably, I don't know what the days to cover were on this, but also a huge range candle. It opened at the high. Now it's pretty much near the lows of the trading session. Very likely to get inside trading days, or we get follow through depending on where it closes, right? And then, you can doodle around these areas, and it's going to be one thing is for sure, the next couple of days of trading is going to still remain pretty volatile, right? You're going to have big moves from a daily perspective there. All right, let's see. SPY is still doing, or S&P 500 ES futures are still dailying around their daily expected daily volume weighted average price. Market net flow, still green, but it's coming off a little bit. And then there's still quite a bit of contracts up overhead. They're kind of stepping them down here too. Look at that. See them walk it a little bit? They just like moved it down slightly. Playing games, dude. Playing games. But the bulls are still trying to hold up. They're trying to hold this. You can see. Pan America Airways. What's up, Swiss? Cheers. Pan America. What's the ticker? I don't know the ticker on that. I forget. Yeah, I didn't know. 2 million sell for Apple. You're welcome, Zpray. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the ticker for Pan America. Pan. Yeah, I have no idea. Damn, my kid's going crazy right now. You're hoping we sink MS Trader? We still might. We still might. You never know. I mean, there it looks like there's... Dude, that kid's going crazy right now. They just keep adding liquidity overhead. I don't trade FX, Grease, but we can pull it up. There was a video that I did with the USD JPY like a few videos ago, but I don't have much thoughts on that stuff as it stands right now. PAAS is the ticker. Okay, cool. Thanks. I'll pull it up. Yeah, looks good. Wait, this is Pan American Silver. Oh, I thought you said Airways. That's why I was getting confused. Yeah, the silver stock looks pretty good. I mean, very tight contraction. We broke out. Now we're consolidating again. So now if we can just consolidate this move, let some averages catch up, boom, we can have a good idea for, you know, risk reward. And right now it's an inside trading day. I would prefer a couple more days of consolidation there, but you know, like this, like how we had a nice consolidation and we broke out and it was breakout on good volume. So yeah, pretty solid. Yeah, that name looks pretty good. Yeah, on the video that we did with the USD JPY, it was back, I think, when the intervention, like we didn't know if it was intervention, but we were kind of joking because it was like, yeah, it's not, they didn't say it was intervention, but it was intervention, right? And now we're kind of recouping, but I did show some really cool correlations on this specific pair. So I'd say go watch that video because as it stands right now, we haven't really moved from that point too much other than it's been moving up a little bit here. But when the volatility came in is when we were making the videos. Oh, you were just joking. That's all good. Yeah, big inside trading day today. I probably will end up calling it quits on the stream here. I was hoping for some sort of a move, some sort of a break, and you know, it's kind of just doodling around here. It honestly feels like it's gearing up for a move, but it just hasn't came yet. You have this still diverging, your bullish convergence here. Chances are, dude, going into the CPI report, you'll see a move going into it. Ace the Race, you want a quick recap on AMC? Yeah, that's fine, man. Quick recap on AMC. Went up. It's now at the lows. There we go. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But pretty much that is what's going on. Yeah, we got to squeeze. We had some follow through, right? I will say before the move, right, volume was looking good. It was coiling up here. You saw some nice moves with some good volume. It started getting very tight. We talked about it over here too as well. And then we had the breakout, right? It was triggered. The catalyst came from a tweet, right? So does that mean to change anything fundamentally? No, you're getting a short squeeze and you got to be careful on these short squeezes. You got to manage risk. It brings volatility. It makes it good for good trade intraday. Okay. But don't be, you know, blowing up portfolios because of a move, right? So if you look at the 15-minute time frame, we got some volatility, came back in, and we're kind of just pulling back in and around these areas. Above a rising day still. So, I mean, it looks good. Can it go back up? Yeah, it can. But I personally like to wait for consolidations, contractions. And as it stands now, we're underneath the daily VWAP. We didn't even, like the very opening millisecond of the day, we didn't go higher than that all day. It's been lower ever since. It's been it got contracted here, flagged, we broke down, and now we put in a little bit of a higher low as it stands currently, but also a higher high. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Central bank saying
a lower high, and we put in a higher low. So if this starts getting taken out again,
and the new
it just needs more time, right?
Sees slight growth for the second quarter.
It's like if you go in right now, you're just kind of like hoping and praying that we're going to just keep on squeezing. And you could be right, you could be wrong. Where are you going to manage risk? You can look at this low or this low over here, right? That's pretty much it. Or you can size your position differently and say, I'm going to have my stop loss way under here. But I mean, you'd be looking at like, hey, you can take a 55% loss on that position if you're wrong, right? So size correctly. All right, we're trying to fill this liquidity up here, back over here at the daily VWAP. Pan Am is an airline that hasn't been around for a long time. Dude, I have no idea.
French central bank noting activity increased in April in services and more significantly than anticipated last month.
Thanks for following,
industry and construction.
All right, so back to SPY. Sorry, not there. Over here. Market net flow still remains green, consolidating here. So you don't necessarily want to fight this trend. It would suggest it can go higher. We did have a big order come in here. Whether that's following this trend to the upside, we don't know, or continuing with this. I wouldn't necessarily look to short it, given the context of the markets. But it looks like we're trying to move this. It's just they keep on stepping up, and given the context of just how choppy it is today, it makes things a little bit difficult. We'll pull up some of the other names that started seeing some momentum. That was Google intraday. We'll see where that's at. Still pulling back down from this recent pop on its little news about its nothing dramatic though, actually, on its news on, what was it? It's a news event or whatever, but it's still above the opening range. This is just a 1 minute chart, people, by the way. So a lot of chop. Okay, it's still consolidating that kind of like strong move, flagging out still. And then is NVIDIA, where's NVIDIA? NVIDIA, it broke the 909, so we'll see here, and it got a little tight here. I wasn't paying attention myself, but maybe other people were paying attention. We'll see if that's creates some sort of a move. But that was the level that I was looking for the break, and I was looking for it to tighten up, which it kind of did. Had an early entry, then we broke 909. So if you were watching this on a very small time frame, congratulations. I missed that. All right, still early. We don't know what's going to happen if it can come back in, do something, but whatever. Okay, so hopefully, trading live is it's a whole different thing, right? Because I'm kind of like all over the place. I'm looking at other names, looking at the chat, and so forth. But that would, I mean, if you traded this, you could get easily a dollar per share scalp right there, maybe more. If you were really paying attention to this tightening right here, your stop would be right here, and then you'd be up, a couple bucks per share, and it may go higher. You don't know. Like, are we breaking this? Like, I don't even know if we filled. Yeah, we filled the liquidity here, kind of, I guess, unless they've removed it, and we're just trading there. Still not much of a pop after that.
Reportedly, Sony is rethinking a bid for Paramount.
Let's get some action, man. The move's going to come later in the day, I think. Just like it always does. Like going into like a CPI report, like towards the, like the last 30 minutes or last hour of the day, all of a sudden it moves like crazy. And then everyone approaches Twitter and says, see there, CPI was leaked. And that could be to the downside, the upside. We don't know. Excuse me. Excuse me. God, I feel like there's so much pressure building here with the bulls. I like feel like we can get a push, but it just ain't moving. In NVIDIA, dude. I would miss that. We're getting some volatility in PARA. I think that's Paramount. Downside watch. I wouldn't don't short into these levels, but getting some volatility there. Probably some news that dropped. Google's still, I mean, Google's getting pretty tight here. And it's coming back into and around the daily VWAP, not too far off the daily expected move. This is getting pretty tight. It'd be pretty bullish, dude, if we started moving through this. Let's see if we can hold up in this area right here. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the other large market cap leaders. Microsoft. Flag, that's breaking out. That's a positive sign in the shorter time frame, back above the daily VWAP, but going sideways for the day. But that helps, right? Seeing this move. Up 37 basis points in Apple, but it's below its daily VWAP. That doesn't help. All right. All right. All right. Eliminate. All right. NVIDIA still holding up that 909 level as we kind of broke from there. Maybe we see a back test or some consolidation. Google, like I said already, it's kind of pulling back into its opening range. Look like it's coming back in there now. We'll see if that can hold. Amazon's flat on the day, but it's also at the high of day. Meta's slightly up on the day, and this was also breaking out of this contraction area, little area here too. So all those, like seeing these like little moves here is good for the market, right? The big mega cap names. And while that's happening, right, we do have the bullish convergence here too. So this is a positive sign. We're starting to see this diverge even further, and we're seeing this. We're just not seeing the move. Yeah, yet, you know? So I just feel like there's, like I said, there's, look at, they're coming back in. Here we go. Just a trip market, man. Trippy market. Puts me on reserve. Basically everything. All right, come on, NVIDIA, come back to me. Come back to me, I dare you. Set me back up. Colby, price action's looking like a pop or a breakout, but I want to short. Yeah, I mean, when you zoom, I'm looking like pretty zoomed in right now. So when you zoom out, it'll help clarify a lot of that, right? And like I said, we have the CPI coming out. Like who knows? Like this market, like if I go back to the other days, the CPI dropped. If you go to the day prior, you'll probably notice that towards the end of the day, you get some substantial move, right? Like like positioning into it. And that could very well happen here. Like we can be like, I can get off the stream and all of a sudden the big move happens. That is typically what happens. And it does look like it's bullish right now. Like it wants to go higher. It's just way too hard to establish like a very strict bias, knowing that if you look at the expected move for going into tomorrow for like the SPY, right? It came off a little bit, but $4.46. And that's could be very well tagged an hour before the market opens up. You know, but the SPY's moving right now. You can't make this up though. Every time we break through it, guess who comes back? They keep on trying to like they keep on coming. So as long as the demand keep it outweighing the supply, man, they might give up a little bit and you might get a little bit of a pop, but clearly people are here to try to hold things steady. Like there's 600 contracts right there. Right after we filled this, they're boom, 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 boom. And then you get blue waters beneath us. So it's like the bulls have to keep the pressure here, or you can just see a quick liquidity kind of like oh, see, look at that. Oh, there they stepped in. Did you see that? That was nice. There we go. That was positive to see some like little action right there. Now let's take out 52.55. Let's go for it. All right, let's pull up let's see NVIDIA. Nice move on NVIDIA, people. There we go. I hope people were paying attention more than I was. We called it out, but I couldn't quite whatever, bro. Didn't come back to me. Okay. Nice move. Anybody was able to catch that? I mean, it's not a crazy move, but I mean, we're talking a couple bucks, or maybe $1 per share. It's not bad. It's not bad at all for a day trade. This right here is NVIDIA. Daz, this one was NVIDIA. We were looking at that 909 level for a potential break. You played NVDL. Oh, nice. Good stuff, Tulip. Are you just doing a day trade, or are you playing in like a swing trade? Like, remember, zoom out. Like, look at the daily time frame, people. The daily time frame, right? It's still bullish consolidation, right? We can go higher, right? If you're looking at it from an intraday, like, so if I was looking at that as a day trade, but I can still come here and look at a potential breakout on the daily time frame. And if you look at the 15-minute time frame we were looking at, right? You know how it was getting, coiled up here, and then we started breaking out, right? That's what we were calling for, or looking at least for a potential opportunity, right? And you have a stop here, so it's still good. In theory, I didn't miss it, right? I didn't miss it because I can still play it just on a different time frame. I was looking at it from a very short time frame. And on the shorter time frame, sometimes I can add more exposure and then be more aggressive, right? So a quick move like this for a couple bucks per share might yield me the same amount that, a swing trade on a 15-minute time frame going up to like here, because my position sizing differs, right? I can be a little bit more aggressive on these shorter time frames. So yeah, hopefully probably just day trade. I'm decent in entering trades, not great at knowing when to exit. Yeah, typically the exit part, like if it's a day trade, right, chances are it's because you're sizing up your positions. Like, I'm not going to take a normal size position into a day trade, right? Like, I can size up a little bit because I know that my stops are going to be significantly tighter. They're not going to be like a 6% drop, right? I'm not going to let it go for 6%. It just depends on the beta for the day. There goes NVIDIA. Yay, everybody. Yay. Who doesn't live in a pineapple under the sea? Rocket ships. Rocket ships. Rocket ships. There we go. There's the move. We saw it coming. Were we prepared? My other portfolio was prepared. Little bummed that I kind of missed the NVIDIA stuff, or the intraday trade. All right, what's happening to, by the way, if you trade this intraday, right, that was a pretty strong move there, right, as we broke out of this base. Doesn't mean we can't obviously go higher, but just understand you can always consider updating risk, right, taking partial profits, updating stop losses, whatever the case may be. But we're at highs of the day now for NVIDIA. Come on, people. Who do you think you are? Or who do you think you are? I am. Shit.
From President Biden in a follow-up interview on China tariffs, saying China will probably try to figure out how to raise tariffs, possibly on unrelated products.
See that, dude? I should have been in the rocket ship. I should have been in the rocket ship, but I was not prepared to be in the rocket ship. All right, we're still moving and grooving, people. Come on. Come on. Come on. What gave us the hint that this was going to happen? What gave us the hint of the pop? All the pressure building. Market net flow. Come on. Come on. Colby, you're like, I'm still a dumb bear, though. I feel you. I get you. It's all good, man. Just manage risk. I can be bearish and, I can be bearish but bullish at the same time. You need to do both. I can soar high. All right, where are we going? 52.40, people. Watch for the breaks to be hit somewhere here, or potentially 52.50. Those would be the levels to watch. Let's take a look at 0 date levels. Boom. 5240 does look like the call wall still on 0 date, not much above that. So 5250 can be a potential level. We've got about 2 hours left in the trading session. So I'd say this is probably the cap for the market today on the upside right here. Just given the context of what the current reading is, okay? So we'll put red there and we'll make it a little bit red like this, go like that. So that would be the upside, target to watch out for. Just given the context of gamma, the 5250 is, a pretty big level from a net gamma perspective. Right here, 5250. Okay. All right. No Chick-fil-A sauce. And then we have on the 0 date, you can see, hey, a lot of likes are coming in, man, on YouTube. Thank you for liking the channel, people. Whoever's doing that right now. I appreciate you guys showing some love. That helps get this channel to some more people. And then 5240 right here is obviously that level, okay? So come on, man. Come on, man. Show me some love. Show me some love. Hey, thanks, Phenom. Oh, yeah, what happened to Google? What happened to Google? Look at that little move, man. There it goes. How did I determine my negative gamma level? Hey, Glenn, can you rephrase the question? I don't know. Which level exactly are you referring to? Just so I understand the negative part. Or are you talking about the flip line, the gamma flip line? Would I recommend swinging into CPI, like starting a new position? I'm not huge in establishing new positions into CPI unless you're really, really focused in on that risk, right? So it depends on the spot, like the position. So for example, look at NVIDIA go, baby. I'm so happy right now that I missed this. I'm so happy. But okay. Like I said, I'm okay with missing things. I'm okay. All right, I'm okay with it.
Forget Enge trades in Sweden.
But let's go.
Causing promotional activities for their
let's go.
cardio help system.
That's good, man. Make sure you update and stops. Make sure you're managing risk. I'm happy because I still have trades on my swing trade portfolio that are benefiting, and I can, going into the CPI report, I might, trim some of this stuff going into this. So, Oh, the Gamma flip line. So I source the data from Gamma Labs, and then I also use Tradie Ticks for that kind of stuff. So the Gamma flip line that I share so frequently is from Gamma Labs. 5170 is the current flip line. So. No, thinking about whether to hold it or not, MK. I mean, so if you're in it and you're up on the position, you can think of it many different ways to determine it, right? So if you're in it, maybe, I don't know if you're day trading it or swing trading it, but if you're swing trading it, understand, you always got to think about what your second trade was. So if your first trade was entering, your second trade is going to be either exiting, adding, whatever the case may be. So you have to determine that. I don't know where you added, okay? But I can't talk to your personal situation just for, obviously, legality reasons. I can't, because I don't know your risk tolerance or whatever. But if I look at this from a daily perspective and I'm in the position where this doesn't look bearish to me, right? It looks like we can potentially have the opportunity to break out of this tight consolidation. What makes me say that? Well, we're above a rising 5-day. The 20-day is starting to turn back around. We're consolidating and we're backing into risk. So if we come back down to 879, I know I can get out on a breakdown and then re-enter if it turns back up. And if my position is too big, if I'm really questioning it, but I want to hold in, I can always look to reduce it, the position size, and or update my stop loss from a smaller time frame. Right? That's how I approach these things. All right, we're coming into some more contracts overhead, people, but we've been getting supportive bids throughout this process, and that's a positive sign. Okay? That's a positive sign as we're seeing the support beneath us. They're moving and grooving us right now. We're going to start getting the CPI leaked tweets on Twitter. All right. Here they come. And by the way, dude, we don't know what the end outcome is going to be. So understand that it's fun, it's exciting if you're on the right side of trade, but I want to revisit it, come back, revisit, stop thinking about where it can go, start thinking about how you're going to manage the position, how you're going to manage the risk, whether it's day trading, swing trading, if you're doing a longer term investment, okay? There's 4 things that we can control, and I say this frequently. For new people, congratulations, you get to hear it for the first time. For people that have been here, congratulations, you get to hear it again. The 4 things that we have control of, I just did 1, 2, 4. It's time for me to get off, bro. It's time for me to get off. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's 4 things that we can control, okay? One thing that we cannot control is going to be where price goes. Sorry, we can't do that. Boom. So what we can control is what we buy. That's 1. How much we buy it, how much of it we buy, right? That's 2. That's position sizing. 3, when we purchase it, timing it. And then the 4th is very important, is when we sell it. When do we get out? When do we, when do we add? When do we take profits? Whatever the case is. Okay, so you have, every time you take a trade, you should be thinking in terms of 2 trades, right? Or even more, right? But you should always know your next trade when you enter a trade. So if I enter into a trade right now, I'm like, I go long right here. Where am I getting out? Before I enter in, you got to think, okay, where am I getting out? If it goes wrong, where would I potentially look to take profits, or what would potentially the path have to look like to update my stop? That would be the next trade. It would be updating my stop, right? That would be considered a trade. Getting out, or where to update the stop, or so forth. Okay, so I hope that helps. Nvidia's at the measured move. Well, there you go. Thanks for updating us. What measured move? The weekly expected move.
10 new vessels this year.
Nvidia's weekly expected move, people, is 939.86 to the upside, 857 to the down. Hold up. Nvidia's weekly expected move this week, because this is something that we share on the Discord every whatever. I'm just going to do it like this. Give me a second here. Somewhere 939. .86.
Nasdaq Composite just off session highs up 0.6 of 1%. S&P.
Sorry, give me a moment. 57.70. You might have been talking about like a daily sort of thing. If there's contracts that end on the day today, I don't really know. But here's the weekly expected move for Nvidia. So up here, what did I say it was? 939. So just say 940. Okay, let's round it. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. And then Nvidia is about 857 to the downside, 858 to the downside. So that's its weekly expected move. Probably going to tag one of those levels at some point. So I don't know which expected move. Maybe it was the daily, maybe or something like that. You had a measured move. Flag. Oh my God. I'm sorry, dude. I know what you mean now. Okay, I get what you're saying. Sorry, my bad. You're talking about the measured. I'm an idiot, dude. I got measured move mixed up with expected move. My bad. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, I get it now. Thanks, Matt. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at GME. Sorry, my bad. GME started to, contract, squeezed up a little bit higher into basically this area where it broke down from, and now we're seeing a little bit of pressure here, back to the downside. Still lower highs for the most part. In the very short-term time frame right here, we did put in a higher low, higher high, and now we're pulling in a little bit. So, if still a little hard to really determine, man. You're just getting too much volatility here. The trade, if you were really kind of like, hey, maybe I can enter into some stuff, even this little fake out right here, you wait for these contractions. So if you enter in like blindly right here, it could keep going and going and going, and then it might rip right back. These short squeezes are freaking wild, man. It's very hard. It's very hard. That's just that's a minute time frame. So I don't know if you want me to look at like it just halted, like a different time frame, It's crazy to trade these things. Like, it's very hard. So if it's very hard and it's very volatile to trade these, please focus on what you can control. And part of that is your position sizing. You have complete control of what it is that you're buying, when you're buying it, how much of it you're buying it, and when you're getting out. That's the only thing you can control. So if you get good at that, that's what you got to really hone in on. Okay. AMC, did that halt too, or are we good there? It's still moving. Yeah, AMC is a very similar situation. Look at all the meme stocks right now, man. They look the same. They look the same. People took the profits, and now it's coming in. So we're going to probably be, I mean, people are probably not going to let this go easy, right? They're going to try to go for it again. All right. And the range of the candle on the daily time frame is huge, right? We're talking from $11 down to a low of $5.82. So it's very typical to see inside trading days the day after, or like another little low, and then it comes back in and it chops people up. So it's going to bring volatility. Those things happen, right? I mean, what happened on, like, I don't know. Like, look at over here, right? So big old breakout there. Then we had an inside trading day, another inside trading day, and then it followed through, right? Once things expand, things contract. So are we in an expansionary phase? Answer, yes. What comes after expansion? Contraction. Are we going to have this big of a range of a candle come tomorrow? My guess, no. My guess would be that this range of a candle right here, it's not going to be that size tomorrow. Can I be wrong? Sure. But the history would suggest that I won't be, right? Because this brings in the volatility. Then volatility calms in a little bit, even though it's still going to be really volatile.
The US market,
all right. Now, if it's bigger range than this, man, oh man, that's going to bring in some craziness in the market. I tell you what. And it is CPI, so who knows? Who knows? But that's a wide range candle, man. 50% down from high to low. Am I in my rocket ship still? I'm still in my rocket ship talking. My bad. It's all good. I like being in here. Feels good. It's like my safe
UID
spot.
America's chief saying that UID can achieve its goals without entering the US
Moonraker
market.
leaked it, huh? My mic's cracking again because I'm probably talking loud again. Dang, dude. I'm all leaning in and stuff. Big Lots. Oh yeah, let's check on Big Lots. I hope everyone understands that Big Lots was kind of a joke. It just happened to kind of burst up, complete luckiness. So just understand that and I clarified that on my tweet. I clarified that on the video. But who knows, man? Who knows what it can turn into? But yeah, it got pretty tight here, and then we saw a little breakout. Yeah, and now it's doing what all the other meme stocks are doing. It's fading in a little bit and pulling up and moved up and whatever. And just so you know, once again, like when I take positions in this kind of stuff, it's not big, dude. I'm not making life-changing money on a single stock position. I just don't size up like that. I don't do it. Okay, so if anybody asks, like, well, show me like how much you made on this, like I'll show you like $500, $1,000, maybe, right? But it ain't going to be to the point where I'm like, I made $40,000 on this one trade, because what I'm not showing you then at that point, which you'll probably hear from a lot of people, is, well, how much did they lose on other trades when they tried to go for it? And I'll show you those too, because they're small. Everyone's like, show me your losses. It's like, dude, I'll show you my losses, but you're not going to be impressed with my losses. They are very boring. It's like, wow, you lost 2% over here. Congratulations. Like, that's what I focus on, like my losses, right? I don't focus on how high they can go. It took a very long time to get to that point. But when you start adding money into your portfolio's and start like really coming into like when you start building portfolios to the point where like, dude, I can't lose this money. Like you're in a position where like some people can look at their portfolio and be like, yeah, dude, I want to take this to whatever I want to take it to and go for it and go for it and go for it. But then you have a time in your life where you're like looking at your portfolio and be like, dude, I can't lose this money. I want to, like, if I'm playing here with this amount, right, I'm trading it and I'm being very professional with it. I'm managing the risk, and that's it. No, you didn't leak it? Okay, sure, Moonraker. Let's take a look at Plug. Is Plug making a move? Plug made a huge move, man. Plug made a huge move overnight too as well, and this is also getting pretty tight here too as well. There's a lot of lower, gosh, man. Oh, God. It's a little chop for me, but yeah, you're putting in a higher low, coming into this little 350-ish pivot area. I'm not great at trading this stuff. I need much more liquidity for it to move a lot more smoother. But yeah, I mean, yeah, markets are moving. Are we trying to get above 5260? Are we going to do it right here? What's market net flow telling us? Market net flow is telling us, yeah, 5. Hey, what are you doing? No. Coco, stop. Stop it. Coco. Trying to eat my screws. That don't make no sense. Market net flow is suggesting, yeah, pretty solid behavior. And this order, this big order right here, that 0 date order, that gave us some insight into a potential move too. That was a nice little point out right there. But where's the magnet at? 522. We are above 522. So we'll see if they start to like show us some more love a little bit further up. Let's where did we come to? Oh, we came up into this area, people. 5240. We're right there. We tagged it within 10 cents. We're pulling in a little bit more. So if we can clear this stuff, I mean, it's kind of adding overhead. If we can clear it, yeah, I mean, look for 5250. But this is kind of like this is what I would imagine would be roughly around the highs for the trading session today. Unless if CPI is leaked. Which it probably is, honestly. I joke about it, but it probably, legitimately probably, there's probably somebody that knows all the time. Well, obviously, there's somebody that knows. F-Cell? Yeah, F-Cell. Didn't we talk about that one yesterday? We pulled up the party starter scan. F-Cell. So on yesterday's live stream, we pulled up the party starter scan, and this showed up. And it was one that I was like, yeah, let's put it on the radar, because if we're starting to get short squeezes, this one wasn't even up on the day when we were talking about it. Or it was kind of like slightly up maybe. And there was a lot of volume coming in like unusual volume. So I was like, yeah, maybe this is one that, maybe one that can get squeezed. At least want to watch. And I mean, it was up. I mean, it's up 25% now, but it was up 43% on the day. I guess Big Lots kind of did the same thing. And remember, there's like 6 days to cover on this one, Big Lots. This was up 51% on the day. That's some crazy moves, people. Crazy, crazy moves. Shooba-dooba-doop, skibby-dibby-dee, pow. Oh, I'm still in my... You guys got to remind me when I'm in my rocket. Yeah. Yeah, good times. Yeah. All right, NVIDIA coming in a little bit here too, consolidating that recent nice run up there. All right, people, I think that was pretty exciting. I think I'm going to put out a market brief video tonight, but if I'm going to do that, I have to take a break off from.
They're announcing the extension of U.S. FDA review period for their TransCon trademark drug. Help us here in November.
I have to call it quits on today's stream.
Extended the PDUFA target action date by 3 months to August 14th of 2024 to provide time for a full review of the submission.
Hey, Mike, Owanda is just it's like CBOE, right? So CBOE is a different way they aggregate data. They show the prices or whatever. Owanda is CFDs. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it shows price continuity, right? So it's showing all the prices like coming through and whatever and around. Man, we're getting squeezed through that level here. Look at all these supported bids coming in too. Are we going to 52.50? Holy macaronis, people. Did the CPI just get leaked? Hold on. Let's see if we get 52.50. I kind of want to call it quits here for the day, but here we go. Holy macaronis. Holy macaronis. All right, we're about to hop off. All right, well, let me see here. So market net flow is still showing pretty bullish. This gave us insights. So hopefully, this is what I mean by clear as day. How this can help you determine the trend. So if you were like, oh, it's moving up, I think we're going to short it. I'm 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 going to short it. That right here, this right here is a tool that kept you from doing that and made you look to buy the dips, right? This gave us the insight. This tool right here while we're alive. And if you're in the Discord, you can look at this tool too. It doesn't show convergence, but it shows momentum down here. And then our Gamma Lab 0 date levels still at 52.40. Not really. Is it? Maybe it changed. Let me update it. Still not much reaching out to 52.50. So we're floating in around this area. So yeah, I still think that this is probably around where we stay. Unless if CPI was leaked. All right, y'all. Hopefully y'all had a good trading session, learned something new today. I'm going to call it quits. I Yeah. Thanks for all tuning in. See you, Moonraker. See you, Dijan. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for those gifted subs. See you, DJ. See you, A. See you, Z Prey. Thanks for following today. See you, Tulip. Thanks for the first time chat there, Dazman Daddy. Ahoy. Trader Jens, MS Trader, Trader Joe, Sam. Thanks for all tuning in. Victor. Thanks. Kevin, thanks. Colby, thanks for tuning in. Dunk, Evan, Tom Swiss, Jubusum, Doppler. Here we go. MK, Paul, Matt in the Hat. Yeah. Guys. MK, Daryl, Michelle, you're welcome. Coffee, Dunk, Tease, later. Mr. Cotter, see ya. Big Lock calls. I don't know what their option chain looks like. I don't really trade options. Victor, Zulf, capitulation, trader. See you, man. Hope you all had a good day today. I'm signing off. I know. I need a break, man. I need some sunlight and some food.